Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo. What's up? Thank you, guys. Good evening. Oh. We've got internet back. I know, crazy. We got internet back. Listen, it might be a disaster. Might be a disaster. It literally just came back up 20 minutes ago, and I got an email on my treble ticket, and they were like, yeah, we found what was going on. We're currently trying to resolve it, but we got you turned back on temporarily. Ruh-roh. We got you turned back on temporarily, but we'll know in an hour and a half whether or not it's actually fixed. And that was an hour ago. So I guess we'll figure it out here shortly. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. Thank you, guys. Good evening. It's been a minute. I know. We had Father's Day. Then we didn't have internet. And then we got the things coming back. By the way, Matters, good evening to you. Are you able to... My sound's got messed up again. So I'm trying to make sure that everything's working. Matters, are you on the stage? Can you hear? Can I hear? Can I hear you? Can you hear him? Can you hear me? What about you? Audience? Yeah? No? Silverhawk asked, did a furry creature... there you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. What's up, man? Good. Audience, you can hear? Good. Great. Good. No, a furry creature did not chew through the wires. It was a sound cable thing. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think about it. You know what? We should go ahead and take the break. But I'm gonna go ahead and come on screen. Good evening, everybody. What's up? Hi. All right, I'm going to turn the sound alerts up. I want to hear if they're working better. I think I fixed cable D. I think I fixed the D. I fixed the D. That sounds better. Somebody want to give me a sound alert, and we're going to check the D. Yeah, I know. Timer fake out. Sorry, I wanted to come in and I wanted to check stuff because we've missed a couple of things.
Yay, bugs!
Hey, it sounds good.
Sounded good.
It sounds good. All right. It looks like we got things are on the mend. Things are on the mend. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate it. I had to fix. Did I visit a doctor? No, I didn't have to visit a doctor.
Wow. That's a big one right there. That's impressively large.
You know what? I did actually visit the doctor. I did go to a doctor's appointment, but that was no reason why I wasn't here. I just had things. And then the internet thing was a problem. That's been off for almost a week now. Thank you, Raj. Yes, I got my D fixed.
I am so positive. I'm full of positive energy.
You hear that? It's working great now. Fantastic. Good evening. DeHaggis says another minute of ads. Somebody gift DeHaggis a sub. How he doesn't have a sub right now is beyond me. Silvertab says Samo's stream is still on. I know. Listen, they sounded like they were wrapping up, and so I decided, damn you, Odysseus. They sounded like they were wrapping up.
So I decided to go ahead and get started on this show. I had planned all along. Thank you, Matters. DeHaggis, say thank you to Matters. I had decided that I was going to come on the air tonight, and then I was suddenly reminded about the State of the Game stream that I wasn't invited to. Which is odd, seeing as how the State of the Game was my feature, that my show that I created 4 years ago with community manager Panic. But somehow I've been exfiltrated. somehow it's I'm not in it. I think it's because I would have had very different things to say tonight. That's just me. Am I being rated? No, not currently. I am not. Lucky! And my ships are repaired and everything. Good evening. What's up, Addy Airy? Thank you. Hey, God, has it been 2 freaking minutes? Please. No, still says 1 minute. Mimi says, once you stole marbles, it became a free-for-all. Everybody stole everything from everybody, I guess. Damn it, take marbles back. God. Take them back! Matters, thank you for gifting the sub. The Web, thank you for your resub. Waffly with the resub. Madam Stargazer with the resub. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate that. Addy Airy, 16 months on the resub. Hola. Chris Son of Mac, 19 months on the resub.
And your 2 minutes is up. Fantastic. Yo, Silver Tab! Silver Tab just hit the 50 stream streak! Yes. Silver Tab, you got to send me a screenshot. Take a screenshot of your 50 stream streak. Send it to me. And I actually did decide, Matters, that we're going to send a free piece of Talking Trek merchandise to anybody who hits a 50 stream streak. All right. And,
that's cool.
And if they get to a 100 stream streak, then I will award them a $100 pack in the game. I think that's fair.
Wow.
I think that's fair. All right. I
I
mean,
think
50,
that's fantastic.
50 streams is incredibly loyal, but 100 is like next level. Like that is like beyond the understanding of quantum physics kind of thing. All right. So
I'm at 3.
you're at what? At 3?
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Matters. See, you're well on
You're
your
welcome.
way. Ladies, Matters, he is at Stream Streak 3. He's on his way. Yes. McSurgeon, thank you for the 17-month resub. Thad, thank you for the 20-month resub. Dirty Bird Bill, 22 months. Rubik's, thank you for the 14-month resub. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. That's right, Silver Tab. Be sure to shoot me a DM. Anybody who gets to 50 stream streak, I'm going to give you a free piece of Talking Trek merch. And anybody who gets to 100, I'm going to give you a $100 pack in the game. All right. I think that's awesome. I think that is true loyalty. And I would love to reward it. Thank you guys so very much. And since I'm going to get accused of stealing it anyway, thanks to Stewie and Lube for coming up with the idea. I think it's a fantastic idea. Jongo, thank you, man. General Darkfire, thank you guys for the resubs. Appreciate you guys. What's going on, everybody? Jongo says, really enjoyed your sunset porch stream the other day. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Jongo. I was really torn. I was really torn on whether or not to do that at the very beginning. And then it just kept getting more fun. And Noah came out, and buddy, is he not the life of the party or what? Is he not?
Yeah, he ate the mustard.
Is he not the life of the party? He is amazing. Love the entertainer in him. He had a great time with you guys. And he, it's so funny. When we got to the point where we were talking about the mustard on the hot dog, I was kind of baiting him. $100 to eat a hot dog. I knew you guys were going to do it. Seth?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Seth. I knew you were going to do it. All right, but I kept baiting him. That's how I got him to agree to it. He thought there was no earthly way possible someone was going to give him $100 to eat a hot dog.
He hasn't met our community.
No, he didn't know. He was like, wait, $100 to eat a hot dog? I'm like, oh, God, that's child's play, man. Oh, my God. Like, they'll pay you to do much worse things. So there's that. But I'm glad that you guys enjoyed that stream. It was fun to put that on for you guys. And I'm glad that I got a lot of comments on it. So I'm glad that you guys appreciated that. I'm glad you guys had a little bit of fun with that as we just kind of took a little bit of a break from STFC that night. Not even intentionally, but just because I didn't have the internet. Right? I didn't have the internet. So, but I've got it back tonight. And I've been told, Matters, that I have 9 minutes left on my DHCP license from my IP ISP. So in 8 minutes, the show might be over.
Quick one.
But if it's
very unlike you.
If it stays, I know. But if it stays, then we might actually finally have it fixed. I know, Tarpitude. I'm glad that I've got my internet back. I just hope that it sticks around. They have told me that there was a problem. So hopefully they're gonna fix it. So anyway. Thank you, Paco. Good to see you back on. Good to see you, too. Thank you guys, by the way, for the hype train. You guys are already in. And Dominus Prime with 100 bits. Tarpitude, thank you very much. Bear Butt, thank you for the 25-month resub. Again, Jongo, thank you guys. And 4 minutes fresh on the clock of a level 4 hype train. Thank you guys. K.A. Knowledge says the lease will just renew and you'll get the same or a different IP. Well, that's just it. I don't know if it's going to disconnect me if it assigns me a new IP. I have no idea how that actually works because I don't pay for a static IP. I probably should, but I don't. So if I'm actively using the internet, I would hope that I just get to renew it and keep going. But I don't know how this works because, again, my internet is weird and different from a lot of you guys. I have microwave dishes. So I have a base station and a mountain and microwaves and switches and all that kind of stuff. So listen, C Engineering, I appreciate that. I have a very robust internet setup. It's about as robust as I can get up here on the mountain. All right, it's not gonna do any better. All right. That's right, Counselor Hef. You did it. You've landed on the moon. I do, in fact, live right next door to the moon. All right. Bad Wolf says, DJ, we need a deer in the headlights hamster emote when he gets asked the questions he's scared to answer. You know, listen, I mentioned this in our private chat. I don't know if Jules is going to join us tonight, probably in a little bit when he puts the girls down to bed. I am probably going to regret things that I say on stream tonight, but I did not enjoy that interview. I struggled with that matters. And part of that it was all the way around. Okay? Wasn't just on Hammy. Right? Like I feel like we had Tiger who's from game design and we know what game design's responsible for. All right? But it's not events. You know what I'm saying? Like I just felt like there was a lot of disconnect there, and I don't know. I struggled with that, you know, and I think that Mr. Tiger was trying to talk a little bit. Listen, he came on our show and talked about the design of Mirror Universe, and I have largely enjoyed it. Now, do I think it's perfect? Absolutely not. Okay, I don't think it's perfect. But I also, Matters, agree with you and some of the stuff we've talked about behind closed doors. It's also early. I know what's coming next month. I know what's coming in M68. Okay? I've seen the whole thing.
Is it Trillium V? We need Trillium V.
Almost the whole thing. Okay? Almost the whole thing. I've seen almost the whole thing. I haven't seen certain mathematical pieces, but I know that we do this a lot, and it's the first month. I want to go back to one of the high points of the interview. Toby says, is this going to be a podcast? I hadn't thought about it. You want me to turn off the music? I can make it a podcast. We could do it as a podcast, Toby. I haven't done one in a little while. Do you want me to turn on the recorder? I'll turn on the recorder. But I've already, I've already missed the opening part of the show, so I'm going to have to download stuff anyway. Listen, I'll go ahead and start the recorder. I'll put it up on podcast. I don't mind to do that. Click, 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 record. Boom! There we go. There's podcast. All right. Yo, Samo, thank you for the raid. 152 major Samonians hopping in. Thank you very much. Let me applaud you. Applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Super duper duper. Is the Tiger video uploaded to YouTube? My Tiger video? Yes, it should be. You're talking about the interview that I did with Mr. Tiger. It should be up. And if it's not, let me know, and I'll make sure that I put it up there. But I'm pretty sure that I did. Benny Hill, thank you for your 5 kitty bitties. And guys, thank you for your level 4 hype train. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Papa Smurf, appreciate your kitty bitties. Maybe later. Apo Well, Major Samo, The Web, Indominus, Striker. You guys are all crazy. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you guys all being here. Savage Darkness is a hacker. Wait, what? What? Savage Darkness, you missed the mark. All right, my dealership was unaffected. Boom. Mine was unaffected. All right, we don't use CDK. I've told you guys before, I use Reynolds. You targeted the wrong one. You got to the wrong ones. All right. So, yeah, yet, says the Haggis. I don't know. Listen, It could happen. It could happen to Haggis, but oh no, that is not true. Spectre says only Canadian dealerships were affected. No, Spectre, I have had a great week. I have had a great week in my service department because everybody around me is offline and we are not. So I've had a fantastic week. Not that I am benefiting on the
Yay, bugs.
disparity of others. Okay. U.S. dealers got hammered. That's absolutely. So there's that. But that being said, I have been very, very busy this past week. Very, very busy this past week because everyone around us is struggling and we're not. But that being said, it has been crazy and we're still working. But it didn't just affect didn't just affect Canadian dealers. Definitely down here in the States as well. Absolutely. All right. Anywho, we will, by request, go ahead and start taping and turn this into a little
big one right there. That's impressively large.
You know what, podcast? I've turned off the music, but I'm not going to turn off the sound alerts. I'm going to let them have their sound alerts, all right? Because we've been so missing on content. We haven't done a Twitch night. I haven't done a full-on Twitch night in a while, but we're also behind on podcasts, so I haven't had a chance to do a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna do this one on podcast, but we're still gonna kind of be twitchy about it. So Iron Chef, thank you for your 100 kitty bitties. Appreciate that. Doug, thank you for the 23-month resub. Appreciate that. Tiny Mama says hydrate. Okay, I'll do that. I'm drinking tea tonight. It's full of caffeine, and it's very late, past my bedtime. What could possibly go wrong? Congratulations, C Engineering, on a 15-stream streak. If you missed the first part of the show, I'm throwing out a challenge. This is motivated by Stewie Doo and Lube.
You're the best. Give me hugs and kisses.
Thanks for the hugs and kisses. Appreciate that, Worf. Motivated and inspired by Stewie Doo and Lube, I'm going to offer stream streak bonuses. And so C Engineering's at 15. You only got 35 to go, and then we're going to hook you up with free merch. Absolutely free merch, all right? Something that we'll get out. And if you get to 100 stream streak, then we'll set you up with a free pack, okay? A free $100 pack inside STFC. So that's what we'll do for the stream streakers, keep you guys alive and motivated to keep coming back to stream, okay? That's what we'll do. Now, hey, Viper, what's up? Hi from the UK. Thank you for being a first-time chatter. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. Jonathan Ingram says, is there a reward for a rating DJ streak? We will release the new...
You're the best.
Thank you.
Give me hugs and kisses.
All the hugs and kisses for you, Falcon Paul. We will release the new video from Jonathan Ingram called UltimatDJz Got Rated for Hours. We'll release that a little bit later, Matters. Yeah.
That's a big one right there. That's impressively large.
I got rated for an entire overnight. All right. I got rated for an entire overnight. I forgot to shield before going to bed. All right. And I got rated for an entire overnight. I lost, what was it, Jonathan Ingram? Probably about 8 trillion resources. But what's great about the video is Jonathan Ingram has really, really stepped up his content creation game. Okay. Really
I think I full-bought
stepped
this.
up on his content creation game. He now has a music producer. Yes, he does. Yes. Uh-huh. He has a music producer. And the music is just going to start getting better and better and better and better. And we are going to premiere that for you a little bit later. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. For those of you who are watching in Twitch, you're going to see it. But, wrong button. Again, with the wrong buttons. See, that's how long it's been since I've been out in the studio, Matters. For those of you in Twitch, you're going to see it on the screen. But the real gem on this is not what you see, but what you hear. So I don't want anybody to panic. I don't want anybody to panic and be like, oh, it's a Twitch stream or not good for podcasts, because it's all about the music. It's all about the music. I want you guys to hear this. So I'm going to play it for you right now, right here on podcast, because it doesn't matter what you see. All you see is Jonathan Ingram rating me. What you hear, though, that is the content creation masterpiece. I'm going to throw this up for you guys right here. This is amazing.
Woke up this morning, phaser set to stun. My base is in ruins, all my work undone.
Yep.
Spaceships are burning, stars don't shine as bright. Ingram came out of nowhere in the dead of night. Warp speed to nowhere, the shields are all gone.
Yeah.
I'm stranded in the galaxy, what went wrong? Scotty can't fix this, I'm losing control. My base is in pieces, taking its toll. Ingram raided my base, took all my part of steel, walked into my space, gave a wound I can't heal. Bananas calling, my defenses overrun. Ingram's raiding has only just begun.
It's got a chorus. It's got a musical bridge. I mean, dude.
Ingram raided my base, took all my bar steel, walked into my space, gave a wound I can't heal. Bananas calling, my defenses overrun. Ingram's raiding has only just begun.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic.
I love it.
Good stuff. Hype in the chat. Logan says, Ingram, you are the absolute king. This is flipping awesome, says Caledon. Condog, a first-time chatter, says, absolutely amazing. Pure quality is, I see this in the chat. Pure quality. That is so good. Great song. Absolutely amazing. Well done, sir. Well done. You guys... You guys, stop encouraging him, okay? That was premium content. All right, premium content. I agree right there, Mathos. It's just, what is that channel on YouTube? Star Trek, you can find it at Raid DJs. Okay, Raid DJs. That's all you got to do. Go to YouTube and and you can search Raid DJs. Oh, come on. And you'll find it.
Woke up this morning, phaser set to stun.
We don't need to listen. We don't need to listen to
My
it.
base is in ruins, all my work undone.
Oh, come on.
Spaceships are burning, stars don't shine as bright. Ingram came out of nowhere in the dead of night.
Oh, God.
Warp speed to nowhere, the shields are all gone. I'm stranded in the galaxy, what went wrong? Scotty can't fix this, I'm losing control. My base is in pieces, taking its toll.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh,
God.
Took all my part of steel, walked into my space, gave a wound I can't heal. Bananas calling, my defenses overrun. Ingram's raiding has only just begun.
There you go. Ingram's rating has only just begun. All right. Should you release this on iTunes? I mean, it's pretty good. Wait, there's another version? Guru says there's a rock version. Where is that?
Took all my
Whoa. Wait, there's another version?
Gave a wound I can't heal. Bananas calling,
Jonathan Ingram. What? Is there another one?
Has only just begun.
Where's this other one? I'm being told that there's another one here.
Phaser set to stun.
No.
My base is in ruins.
Hold on. I'm gonna. Hold on. What?
Woke up this morning, phaser set to stun. My base is in ruins, all my work undone.
Unbelievable.
Ingram raided my face, took all my pastille, walked into my space, gave a wound I can't heal. Bananas falling,
What?
my defense is overrun. Ingram's waiting has only just begun.
Unbelievable. That is absolutely crazy. Wow. All right. So Jonathan Ingram, like I said, Jonathan Ingram hooking up. He's got a music producer now. He's got somebody handling all the music. All right. Jules Verne says, "Where is this album? Shut up and take my money." God. What?
I love it.
Where did this come from, Jonathan? That is unbelievable. So Tarpatu says, "This is the plus side to your internet dying." Jonathan Ingram says, "I have many more versions ready for future rating." Oh, dear Lord.
Coming soon.
That is so good. Oh, my God. Matters. I kind of feel
That's a big one right there. That's impressively large.
it is. It's very impressive. All right. He's got a whole music album. Ready to go, just for rating my bass. I don't know. So on the rock video, Jonathan Ingram, I don't remember what you got on the rock video. Obviously, it went for a while. But on the country video, I was rated all night. It was about 10 hours, and I lost several trillion.
Wow.
It was like 7 or 8 trillion by the time I woke up. So, whoopsies. Anywho, all right. Appreciate you guys all being here. Good evening. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, and we're twitching a little bit tonight. I was going to do a little bit of grinding. I wasn't necessarily prepared to do a show, but if you guys want to tape it for a show matters, we can totally do that. I know that some people have been asking about my ratings for the ARC, which I was planning on doing. Thank you, Smurf. Which I was planning on doing this Thursday because I was just planning on, just grinding a little bit tonight, maybe playing in the Mirror Universe a little bit because I have clearly and obviously had a very different experience than all these other people. Because I was watching the State of the Game earlier with Samo and Rev, and I'm just going to be straight up honest, and I'm not. This is just professional feedback. I don't mean anything personally by it, but I was disappointed at how skewed that thing was. It felt like to me, and the chat was rough, man. I feel like if I was watching that, I would feel all alone, living in a cardboard box underneath a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like I would feel that alone because I do not share that experience. I don't. The Mirror Universe is young. It is in its infancy, but I think there's a lot that I'm seeing here, a lot that motivates me, and I have had success in playing in that arc this month. All right. Now, Floyd says you do belong in a box underneath a bridge. Okay. Andy says it's too locked down. And Andy, I said earlier, I'm not going to disagree. Okay, because I think that it's not perfect. I think that there's some stuff that we could have done better. But, Andy, I said from day one, all right, I don't necessarily – I know that you want to lift the tokens completely. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think some of what Tiger had in mind with that is somewhat acceptable. However, I do agree from the very beginning that there needed to be a lot more ability to play. Okay, a lot more ability to play. I agree with you there. I still agree with you there. I appreciate that the Arc Runner, who, by the way, is not Tiger. That was another thing I felt was a little bit off about this interview. There was a lot of talk about events that had nothing to do with Mr. Tiger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was an odd thing for content creation to make that kind of error because we know that Tiger doesn't do events. All right? He didn't. And Tiger literally came out and acknowledged what you're talking about, ATX. We had too many events this month. That wasn't from a design perspective. That wasn't from a design perspective of the mirror universe, okay? There's two things, generally speaking, that we can talk about here, which is A, the design of the mirror universe, which, agreed, is not perfect. But then there's also the events and the implementation and the integration from the daily events that we had to do. And I do think that we had some problems on that side of the aisle. I think there's problems on both sides of the aisle, okay? Like I said, not perfect. But I said at the very beginning of the month, Andy, I agreed with you. Open it up a little bit. Players want to be able to play. They want to be able to explore. Thank you, Dragon Keeper. They want to be able to get in and enjoy and learn, which is what Tiger said he wanted. He wanted exploration. He wanted people to play. He wanted people to get in and learn about the feature. And I am grateful that Live Ops kind of mirrored, pun intended, that sentiment in the beginning matters because they gave out, by the way, the full 3,000 that Matters told me to ask for. Can you believe it? Matters came out here and said, ask for 3,000. That's 10 entries. And I thought, there's no way they're going to do it. There's no way that they're going to do it. And by God, they did. 3,000 vouchers. 10 extra entries. I think it was great. It allowed players to get in and start to explore. So I think that that was a very good thing. And I continue to believe that 1 entry every day or 3 entries every 3 days might not be enough for some players. I also have been advocating for a little bit more open access to the mirror universe. All right? That being said, why? Why is Andy fussing about it? Why is the web fussing about it? Why is Rhino fussing about it? Why am I fussing about it? Why was Samo and Rev? Why are we all fussing about entry into... Spock is doing it right now. They need to increase the voucher cap. Why? Well, it certainly matters. Can't be because the feature might be interesting or rewarding and that we want to play in it. Because if I heard the state of the game right, everybody hates the mirror universe. So it can't possibly be that we want more vouchers to play in a feature. Can't possibly be that matters. This is what I'm talking about. Like, we got to be real careful with the feedback. We're telling them we need more vouchers, need more keys, need more premium this, need more that. Meanwhile, we're saying we hate it? How can that possibly make sense?
Yeah, I brought that up during her thing. Nobody read it, but
I thought it was...
First they complained about too many events and how every day there was an event to go into Mirror Universe. And then at the same time, everyone was complaining that we didn't get enough vouchers every day, or entries.
Now, Rhino talks about...
Well, you get one a day.
That's true. Rhino talks about the currencies. I will jokingly agree with you, Rhino, but that's a Tiger staple. All right. He loves his currencies. I think that the extra currencies provide him flexibility to be creative with his design. Okay. I don't necessarily disagree that there's a lot of currencies here. I said that from the beginning. We even teased him about it matters on the very beginning. Remember, Karkin congratulated him. Or no, I think that's not correct. Karkin actually congratulated him on second place because the Bajoran faction, or I'm sorry, the Voyager loop, which he also designed, actually had more currencies, right? So he said, congratulations on coming in second place to yourself. All right. So Shinjo says, no one likes the currency. Stop shilling for Tiger. Listen. This is not new for me, Shinjo. Even Ripper, go back multiple years. Even Ripper agrees that multiple currencies provide flexibility in game design. You can hate it all you want. It doesn't make the design bad. It might make it confusing. I get that. I understand that. Okay? It might make it confusing. It might make it something that you need to learn about. It might make something that you need to explore about. Okay? However...
By these currencies, you're talking about all of, like, the common, the dust, all the different...
Sure, the keys.
The fact that we can downgrade them, doesn't that clean up any of your issues that people are having? I have no problem with them. It's
I agree. All right. I don't disagree with that. Now, I still see people in the chat now taking a different perspective. Well, it's not about the currencies, DJ, and it's not about the mirror universe being trash. It's about we don't have access to it. Well, then that's a voucher thing. And Mr. Tiger literally just said that they are exploring ways to increase the number of vouchers. So we got to give that a minute. We got to give that a minute and see how that implements. Okay? Now, Jonathan Ingram, I'm personally with you. This would fall into my area of it not being perfect. I don't like wasting several minutes to get where I want to go. But then you have players like Putz. And you got players like Istio who came in and actually agreed with Putz on this, that the impulse part of it is actually a part of the strategy. Now, me personally, I don't like 4 minutes of impulsing, okay? I actually thought Samo had a wonderful idea in this, is provide, what did she call them? Loot goblins, all right? That would be cool if there was just random rich targets, regardless of level, regardless of system, all right? If there was just, if there was something I was looking for while I was going through, now that might be a little bit of a different story. All right. Shiz says, like the surveys. Yeah, but I would like more. Yeah, like maybe like goblins that drop premium rift keys. Sure. Like that actually drop something that could be very, very, call me crazy. What about, Andy, a loot goblin that actually dropped, I don't know, vouchers? Right? Like, how about targets that actually fuel our progression in the mirror universe? You know, I'm totally fine with that. I think that was a great idea. All right? And yeah, McSurgeon says you could call them scouts or the surveys. Maybe I'm not finding enough value in what they're dropping. I do agree that they have great faction credits. That's probably one of the treasures, right? They've got great reputation, but not for me, okay? But that's fine. I don't need it. I don't need all the content to be about me. But I would like something to keep me engaged during my impulse time. Because like Jonathan Ingram, and unlike Putz, I kind of like dread that first 4 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
What if they change the backdrop of every system to be a different like YouTube Shorts clip?
Yeah, maybe just, hey, listen, load up 365 different wallpapers and let me just randomly cycle wallpapers. No, that would crash the game. All right. That would crash the game.
Yeah.
That being said, I am totally in favor for some enhancements like that. Okay. I'm not saying that all this is perfect, but I feel like we're being very discombobulated with our feedback. All right. Because we're wanting more access. Yet, vocally anyway, kind of seems like we're just dogging on the whole arc. And I think that's tough. I think that's not really fair. That being said, I liked one thing that Rev pointed out. Which was something I pointed out earlier in the month as well, was that you guys said the same thing about the Bajoran faction in month 1 as well. And now it is literally one of the most beloved features of the entire game. It's one of the most popular, the most long-lasting, and the most rewarding arcs in the entire game. And we had to work towards it. That's right. Bajoran is the one we can't live without. Now, Dog Red Clifford says Bajoran isn't 20 minutes. I would argue that. How much do you need? How much, I mean, not necessarily daily. Get it, okay? But, I mean, it's certainly not instant and free for me to get all the solo Armada loot to fuel that refinery. You know what I'm saying? The Web, fair point, says, I don't like doing 20 minutes per day for events. Okay, don't disagree with you. As a matter of fact, we had the same conversation when Waves came out. Said, hey, listen, let's change it from doing a 1-day event to a 3-day event. And now, it's 3 days now, right, for the Wave Defense Battle Pass? That's good. But guess what? Not part of the design. That is in live ops. That is event design. Different than game design. Different than how the MU was built. All right. Webb says Waves is much better at 3 days. Totally 1,000% agree with you. And if we're going to continue seeing Mirror Universe events, I would agree with you again at the same time that Mirror Universe events would probably be much better received on a 3-day cycle. Totally like that idea. Totally like that idea, Webb. But I got to file that feedback to the appropriate team. You know what I'm saying? I got to file that feedback back to the people who work on that piece of it. That wasn't game design. The Mirror Universe wasn't designed to grind daily. Tiger said that tonight, and he said that on my show in week 1. It was never intended to be an everyday thing. Unfortunately, game design and live ops might have gotten that wire crossed. Okay? I know that's how it launched, but that's not how it's going to be.
Okay, but this daily event that everyone keeps complaining about, it was only giving you 500 common rift keys. Who needed 500 common rift keys every single day in addition to what we could pull?
And if I'm
People
not
didn't
mistaken,
need
it
to
wasn't
do it
attached
every
to the
day.
meta.
It was
If I'm not
not
mistaken.
And it
attached to the
wasn't
meta.
attached to the meta. There was no reward for it other than more common rift keys. And now people have like 20,000 of the things.
Yeah.
Because they forced themselves to do their daily run through Mirror Universe because there's an event for it.
Now,
Right.
Ziggy.
Like you always say, just because there's an event doesn't mean people have to do it.
Well, that's true. All right, I get it. But on the other hand, some players do have the completionist mindset, which I did this month. Also because I enjoyed the Mirror Universe. I did. All right? Like, I enjoyed this, and you guys know how praiseworthy I've been of Waves. I enjoyed this more than Waves. I did. It probably for the same reason that I enjoy solo armadas, because I don't have to rely on other people. I just do it when I want to do it. Now, I will kind of come back and point out that some players are agreeing with you. Putz, Dragon Keeper says, well, though, on the other hand, I need 700 to farm where I need to farm. Now, Dragon Keeper, 2 things. 1, you don't need 700 because you could also spend the loyalty or the premium ones. On the other hand, I like where Dragon Keeper's head's at because he is spending 700 a day, matters, to avoid spending the premium. Because right now, we don't know what the sourcing on premium is going to look like. Although, again, tonight, Tiger said that is going to get much, much better. Okay? That's right, Dr. Warboard. It's really tough to get the premium. Okay? It's real hard to get that right now.
Just in the Rift refine, right? Or the Rift key refine?
That's right. However, Tiger said tonight that within the next 60 days, the premium keys will get better. All right? And if anything that I have seen is indicative of that, then I would agree with him, as long as it doesn't change. Okay? Jonathan Ingram says, me might not be common. It's the uncommon. I need 400 to 500 uncommon to get where I want to be. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't need to go quite that high. I think I'm spending 300 uncommon to go where I need to go. But there are days that I don't even get 300 uncommon out of my refinery. So there are some days that I'm in the hole. I get that. But then I would use my premium to trade down for it. But I'm also scared about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared about that because I don't know where premium's going to come from. Again, Tiger tonight alleviating some of that concern. Now, Jada says, why can't they make a good first impression on release? It's always wait till it gets better. Ordinarily, I agree with you, Jada. Ordinarily, I do. Scopely struggles a lot of times on releases. But Jules would come out and say, listen, this is not necessarily a bad first impression. Are there things that they could do better? Sure. But look at the research tree. We're talking in terms of hundreds of days, not dozens of years, right? That's like already something amazing to start out with. We're talking Hundreds of days, not dozens of years. Okay? So that's positive one right there. I think that's a better first impression, that they come out and they've got that started in the right direction. Research tree, valuable, says Skeletor. Fantastic. I agree. Okay? Duke says, I've had great success with pulls for the tier-up catalyst. Mirror is not that bad. It's got great potential. And Duke of Marmalade is fast-forwarding a little bit. My recommendation was to kind of hold yourself back in that refinery a little bit, but I would really love to hear Jules on this. And Batters, I'm going to ask you, because I know you've enjoyed it and you have played. Let me ask, have you started pulling anything else out of the D refinery? I haven't yet, but I am very ready to, I believe. And I'm going to explain to players what I mean by that. I've played for 20 days now, 21 days. All right? Granted, my position is different. We are going to talk about that because I think there's a weak spot or two. Agreed. All right? But, Matters, have you started pulling other refines, or are you still banking all your D?
I've been doing the occasional pull for the holodeck parts.
Really? Okay.
The other thing, not yet. Yeah, I mean, like there's some decent boosts in the holodeck. Not to mention, especially when you hit certain tiers, you get the those payouts of those officer shards.
Mm-hmm.
So feeding that up is I don't know, it's something I'm interested in. It's a slow crawl. Otherwise, I haven't got any of the others yet, though.
Okay. Wolfwood says I'm only pulling dust, and that's really kind of all I've done up to this point. All right. But Panic mentions that he's been pulling Forbidden Technology, Wildstar pulling the holodeck, Webb pulling the holodeck, Raj with Tier Up Catalyst. I think that's fantastic. That is a good first impression. That is tangible rewards that Tiger offered you up front. Now, I did recommend that you build up a little bit of a bank. I did recommend that that was a little bit later play. But let me explain that position. Dragon Keeper says, I'm only pulling the Trail A and the Trail D refinery. And I don't disagree. I encourage players to hang out a little bit in case they wanted to move toward. Okay. I encourage players to only redeem their Liquid D on the Rift Key Exchange and the Mirror Dust Exchange, primarily because it fuels your progress through. Okay? It fuels your progress through the rest of the Mirror universe. However, my intention with asking players to only pull those two was to get you to the point where you could double pull both of those refineries. Okay, Panic says that makes sense. My goal there was to get you guys double pulling. Now, I don't think that all ops levels are going to be able to do that. But at my ops level, that involves me earning 1,050 Liquid D every single day. That might be tough. 1,050 Liquid D every single day. Can I do it? Is it possible? Matters, is it possible? For me, it is.
Yeah.
For me, it is. All right. As a matter of fact, it's possible for anybody at level 5 refinery or higher. Okay? Let's take a look. Okay? And by the way, again, super big shout out to Jules and Blue for the spreadsheet. I'm just going to grab a quick little screenshot and throw it into the graphics room for those of you guys listening. The time is currently 9:32 p.m. Eastern time, where I'm taking a look at the same Google spreadsheet that I've shared all month long. Just specifically what I'm looking at is this screenshot from the Mirror Refinery. At level 4 refinery, which is still the G4 refinery, if I double pulled, then I'm looking at 170 and 600. That's 670. But if I'm also looking at the cost in that refinery, let's say pick an ops, because we're gonna assume that it's a G4. All right, Ray and Susie, I'm gonna get there, so hang on a second. All right. Ziggy says this conversation reminds me about the whales. Well, we're gonna break it down. There's two very clear lines. Okay? There's very clear lines here. Because I need 1,050 liquid D. But do you? Do you? Let's take a look at the Mirror Dust Exchange, and then we're going to look at the Rift Key Exchange. Let's take a look at a G4 player. No retrieving. Hang on. Let's look at a G4 player. Neelix says 42. Pixelate 46. Roselia's 48. All right, let's go there. G4. So
let's go with the higher end, just for the higher numbers.
You want to go with
like maximum G4 cost? So
48?
go with what, 50?
No, that's
G4
no. You know what?
To them?
You know what? I'm going to illustrate the opposite point. Matters. I'm going to go Ops 42.
All right.
Okay. Ops 42. If you were able to max your level 4 refinery. This is level 4, guys, which, by the way, mathematically, we have proven that a level 42 can do with enough research and enough strength. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but a well-seasoned level 42 can feed a level 4 refinery. Okay? We're talking 170, and you guys are probably going to struggle with a single pull of liquid D, right? On the liquid D or the raw D refinery. You're not going to get a double, right? Can we agree? On the other hand, it's only a one pull every 3 days. So you guys tell me. Raj says, yes, seems doable. Raj says we can't get, oh, wait, you can't get any of the raw D? Yeah. Is that accurate? You can't get any?
I think like 47 is the weakest Trillium D hostile.
Okay.
And like pretty hard for a 42 to knock those out.
All right. Okay. So Tiger mentioned something tonight.
You can mine it.
Well, you could. I'm not a big fan of that. Although.
Especially not 42 with the ships they have available.
Let's do this. I'm going to hop into the game. I want to reverse engineer this because Rev said he was only getting 6,000 in 20 minutes. I thought that was low. And I hate mining, but I thought that was low.
What level's Rev?
He's 50-something. But Tiger also said he was getting like 200,000. I think that might be high. So here, you know what?
Because Tiger said he didn't even have his Nova yet.
So here's what
What is he getting 200,000?
What's an Ops 42 using? What are they using? They using, can we say that an Ops...
Hydra, Bachor.
Yeah, G4 faction ship.
Well, then can I use a G3 just for illustration? I don't have a low G.
You don't have one?
I don't have, no, I never built the G4 miners.
Yeah, use a G3 because that'll mine even slower.
But it's max. That might not be fair. Oh, nope, that's tier. Can I use? Is it fair?
A max G3 is equivalent to about a tier 4, tier 5.
Can I use a tier 9? Can I use a tier 9 Antares? That's a G3. Is that fair? Okay, so
that's fair.
All right. I am going to use. Did I not just select it? I must not have. Hang on. Let me change ships real quick. I'm going to use a G3 Max Antares. Okay, there we go. Boom. Now, let's consider where we want to go. Where do we want to go? Let's take a look at the chart, and we're going to want to mine D, which means we've got to go to where? Where can we go to mine D? Looks like the lowest system.
Very top right corner of the mirror universe.
Top right corner.
Are you looking for the lowest possible system where you can find it, or do you want to go where the good nodes are that have double speed?
The good nodes? Okay, let's talk about the good nodes. Okay, where do you want me to go for the good nodes?
It's as deep as you can possibly get in the mirror universe.
Well, that's not good for an Ops 42. Do they have the warp range?
You gotta take both. You gotta take both the. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, if they have the keys, if I mean, that would probably be the best thing for them to spend their premium dust on, is because.
Where are you sending me?
Unless.
What's the name of the system?
I'm booting it to find it now.
You guys help me out. Where are we going? Nowhere Man says the good node needs warp 75. No, a warp 175, no, a G4 can't get there. Okay?
Are you not spending premium or spending premium?
For
'Cause
now,
Kronos does have them, right?
for now, let's be okay with spending our premium. After all, they're not having trouble.
Mirror vendor.
Mirror Zendor.
Yep.
I'm looking for that one.
The nodes in Mirror Vendor are double the speed of all the other ones.
Mirror Vendor. Okay, that's an Ops 48 system.
Yeah, it's deep there. Someone said it's got high warp range, so
it's it's warp range 175. A level 42 is not getting there. Okay, so we got to scratch that. Let's go. I got to be honest with you. Even Kronos is going to be a little bit challenging for low G4 players. It's warp 120. Can you guys get there? Do you have warp 120 if you're level 42? I don't think. I mean, even 120 is a stretch. Listen, I remember when warp 65 and warp 75 was a challenge as an Ops 40.
Well, if they don't have an ops appropriate, I mean, if they're all trying to get there with their G3 ships, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. If they build,
fair.
If they have an ops appropriate miner, the base warp range of a Hydra will get there at tier 9.
Are you going to have a tier 9? Are you going to have a tier 9 Hydra at Ops 42?
You can use Grush to give you a boost.
That's not with Angel
if they've been playing long enough.
Either.
Okay.
Their Kirk fleet commander might be giving them a boost.
All right, so let's. By the way, we do know that none of our officers matter for this kind of mining. So let's look at Grush. Let's look at, oh my God, a day one original. Let's look at Cadet Scotty.
Yeah.
Okay, and by the way, I'm still using a G3. Now, I have higher warp range. I am still not going to get to Vendor, okay? But I do have warp range 121. So that would be enough to get me to Kronos. Okay? That would be enough to get me into Kronos. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my NX-01. I want to look into Kronos, and we're just going to take a look at what mining speeds might be. Okay? With my G3 ship. I'm going to use my NX-01. Oh, crap. I've never opened Kronos. I can't get in there. All right. Kronos is super doable, says Savage Darkness. I mean, there's a lot of ways to increase your warp range, all right, in fairness. I have more warp research, yes, but I'm also using... You just want me to go blind? You want me to use tokens to go in there? I mean, okay. I don't care. That's fine. I'm willing to do that for you guys. All right. So let me fly in. I'm going to go fly into Kronos. Okay. Activate whale cam. All right. I'm doing it for you.
Are you going to take the long way around to Kronos? Save some premium?
No. I'm gonna spend the premium. All right, because
you're gonna double premium to get to Kronos.
Oh, I'm gonna do double. Yes, but you guys can get around. Okay, you guys can get around. You don't have to do that. Strider says mining speed. This is what I wanted to look at. I think mining speed.
Wait, what did
would
you
be
crew? Have you jumped in yet?
No, I haven't jumped in yet. But I'm not going to sit here.
Okay.
No,
what did you crew?
What do you mean? What did I crew? I'm sending my. I'm just sending my NX-01. That way I can.
Oh.
Yeah. That way I can change miners, change crews. We can do all that stuff. Okay. Now the web is pointing out that Kronos is a premium system. Okay, I get it. But we here in month 1 have a fair amount of premium currency. Okay, we do. So I'm not going to consider that limited yet. Plus, Tiger just told us tonight that it's going to improve. Okay, so if that's the case, I am feeling motivated to teach you how to do it with premium currency, especially if premium currency is going to get better. Okay. Raj says, my G3 Max miner can only get Warp 98 with Grush and Scotty at Ops 42. Daggone it. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that we could use to help Raj build up there a little bit? And by the way, I do want to throw out that a G3 Max miner is not technically what you want to be using at Ops 42. Technically, at Ops 42, you're going to want to have transitioned to the G4 miner. Okay. And you should have Angel in Disguise as well, which should probably help. Okay. Now, I like that Skeletor says, I'm totally out of premium doing the event. Skeletor, it's a great point, and I think it's a great call-out, which is why I continue to point out one of the things that Tiger said tonight is that premium should continue to get better. All right? He said he regretted even calling it premium because he didn't intend for it to be premium. He intends for it to be very sourceable. Those are his words. He did not intend for it to have a premium feel. He intended for it to be a commonly sourced thing and said that he was going to be making changes to ensure that that felt better over the next 60 days. I think that's fair. Okay. Retrieving says nothing's going to change. Let's be honest. I don't know if I agree with that. Here's the thing, Retrieving. What do you expect to change? If you expect the loop in the way that we see it now to change, I might agree that it won't. Does that mean that there's not content that'll come that could enhance it? I would agree with you, Retrieving. If I was asking him right now, are you going to make core changes to this, what we've seen this month? I've said before that I don't see that nearly as often as I see them fixing it with future content. I agree. Retrieving says they've never really changed loop economics. I actually agree with you. But they usually do modify or tweak the future content to improve the loops. He even mentioned that tonight. Retrieving, your definition of them changing it is different than their definition of changing it. His definition of changing it is going to be introducing additional mechanics that will improve or change the way we play in the mirror universe. That is their definition of changing it. Okay? We got to stop
they
thinking.
won't change what's already there, but they'll add to it.
Yeah. We don't want to think
Make
so
it
linearly. Okay? Rico says, where did he mention all this? Is there a replay? I assume that there will be. I watched it live on Samo's channel. Okay. Excuse me. Now, Retrieving says with premium dollars. I don't know yet. Okay. Not that I've seen. All right. Raj also said that Mr. Tiger said at the beginning of the month that Trillium D is not necessarily something that the early 40s should be pushing for. Well, he certainly built it that way, didn't he? All right. I don't disagree. If you're going to grind it with hostiles, 47s are a big jump. Plus the warp range, 120. That's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough for an Ops 42. But he did
Yeah, 120
say,
only gets you to a premium system. So, like, even though we did get a handful of premium, it'll run out fast if someone's, like, flying in there to do all their Trillium D sourcing.
all right. Now, we are, if you're watching on video screen, we are currently in Trillium D space, raw Trillium D space. A G3 maxed miner in 20 minutes is going to get like 600.
How much of the research did you do?
None. Zero.
Well, part of
perhaps,
it, too.
perhaps we should demonstrate what will happen with some of the mining speeds if the research is given a little bit of attention. That might seem like a great idea, Matters. You are so smart. Let's progress.
How much can G4 go to? Is it like level 3 on the research?
Nope, you
level
can go.
3,
I'm pretty sure you can go all the way up.
No, it's ops locked.
Oh, the loot one is the one that's not ops locked? Level 3. Okay.
The loot one is not. The mining one is. Level 3 for G3. I think 6 or something.
Level
for
3.
G5,
So I can go to level 3. Okay? Level
which
3.
isn't a huge boost, but
Okay.
it's
Well, it
still
takes me to 6,000%. Oh, crap. I just did the research and that ship is still in dock, so I should be okay. All right. So now let's take a look again. Well, golly, that tripled it. Savage Darkness says you can go to level 4. Can you go? Can I go? I don't think I can as an Ops 42. You guys help me out here. Mining is 3, 6, and 9. Okay. Viper says 58,000 an hour with max G3 miner and max research. Okay. Now, let's come back in and look. I'm going to get out of one run, if I were to do this, I'm going to get about 1,200. All right, 1,200 in my 20 minutes. I am, by the way, going, just as I expected, to do better if I was able to grind the lowest hostiles, which is going to be 47. If I can't, then I'm definitely only going to be able to pull approximately 1,600 raw in a day. Now, let's come back to the refinery. That means in the span of 3 days, I would actually get a single pull. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, why do you think you're going to get 12,000 in 20 minutes?
I said 1,200. 1,200.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
And now
Hi,
I'm probably hi. How are you? Now I'm probably looking at like just a little bit better, probably 1,400 or 1,500 after I've done a little bit of research. And I would probably use Smarter Crew. I'm not using Smart Crew. Blah blah blah. Now, Nerd says if you did that, you wouldn't get any Trillium A. Agreed. Except for not this month. This month they gave us tons and tons and tons of vouchers. But moving forward, I don't disagree, Omicron. Is that sustainable? No, it's not. All right? But we're going to see improvements. We're going to see more raw D. We're going to see more liquid D. We're going to see events. Okay? And not to mention, he's already told us that he might be sourcing more vouchers. Maybe. Okay? That being said, let's pretend for a moment that I can get a singular pull every 3 days of the liquid D. That's going to give me 300 liquid D. And what do you want to say? Single pulls of the Trillium A refinery, which means every 3 days I'm going to get 240. I'm going to get roughly 500 liquid D. Every 3 days, roughly, ballpark, I'm going to get 500 liquid D. Okay? Well, that's going to give me the opportunity to double pull my Rift Keys, or to give me an opportunity to double pull my Mirror Dust, or to give me the opportunity to single pull both. Early Ops 42. Okay? Omicron says the jump from Tier 4 to Tier 5 for D is bonkers. I don't disagree. You know where that changes? That changes from G4 to G5. Your capabilities should be better. You should now be able to kill bigger hostiles. Now you can actually go and get raw D from the hostile drops. That's the break point. Okay? Omicron says, I am G5. It's still bonkers. Well, the amount that you're getting, though. All right? I mean, the amount that it drops, it's literally a lot higher. Vic says that's crazy talk. No, dude, the math. Right here. It's the math. Mathematics. Okay?
So I got a couple things I want to jump in here on.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about mining speed?
Yes.
With different miners?
Yeah, I want to
and mining loads.
Let's circle back to that here in just a second. The last thing that I wanted to draw about the comparison he was talking about the life cycle of this refinery, okay? For G4 players, early G4, is that exactly what he said tonight. The double pulls were not intended early on. They are stretch. That is something to work towards. But right now, he believes, and I don't see evidence that disagrees with him, that even an Ops 42 should be able to single pull both of their refineries.
I disagree with that.
Okay? Tell me why.
I disagree because I think that the D is just too difficult to get to. If you cannot pull the Rift Key exchange, you cannot get the uncommon Rift Keys to access the D. So it doesn't matter. If you can't afford the Rift Keys at all, you can't afford to get to the D.
You
don't need of these early G.
You don't need uncommon. You don't need uncommon to get to
because you run out of premium. You run out of premium really fast. If it costs you 800 premium to get to Kronos, you're going to run out of that extremely quickly. Only 5 times to go there. And if you're only mining, and this is the slow nodes too. These are not the fast nodes. So if you're only getting 1,200, you can only go there 5 times, which means you can only pull a single chest twice. with the 300 that they gave you at the beginning.
But again,
so it's not possible. It's not long term, and it's not even possible for 1 month.
I agree. Right here in month 1. But as Tiger said literally 2 hours ago, the premium Rift keys are going to loosen up. He did not state that those were intended to be as gated as what they probably came out being. Okay? Now, I'm not listening to Jules. I'm just providing extra perspective. If this is how it was going to be and we weren't changing it, sure. I don't disagree. But I'm expecting an influx.
I do agree
of
with you that I'm
keys.
excited for. I am excited for what may come, but I am also being realistic with what we see now.
Okay, and that's fair. Is it possible for an Ops 42, per Tiger's mouth himself, to be able to fully engage in this loop, Jules?
Depends what you mean by fully engage. Are you going to be able to pick up some liquid D? Yes. Are you going to be able to use that to purchase more mirror dust so that you can get the common and the uncommon and epic, which you cannot get without pulling the D exchange? You can only get that from the mirror dust exchange if you're not doing the D mining at all. Yes, which means you can do basically any of the research over time. Now, it's not going to be nearly as much as what late G4 or what G5 or G6 can do, but you are going to be able to have entry into this loop and entry into the system. And I think that that is to be praised rather than closing this off to only upper G4 or even closing this off to G5, which I believe this content is designed for. It's allowing early access. And I think that if we continue to use that terminology saying you're not going to fully engage, you're not going to be able to pull every single rift chest, you're not going to double pull anything, then we're good. But if we say you should be able to fully engage, as in, yes, you could double pull if you had all of the tools available, that's not, I don't believe that's currently available now.
Were we able to do that with the Tally when it first came out? Or the Vidar?
And we were not able to do that with the Bajoran when you were 35. I agree with you.
Or the Voyager? I mean, literally all of them. So
I agree. And that's the thing is, like we said, those were entry though. Like you're getting an early taste of what this is. And I agree with that.
And he said the same thing about 40 to 45 in this loop. He said the exact
What about at max
same
loot
thing.
research? Do your numbers change when they get to max loot research?
No, I'm not for 45 and down, because they literally don't have the warp range to get to the hostiles that are dropping raw D. Okay.
Yeah, only with their specialty ships, and they're not going to kill one.
Now, Spectre says Bajoran didn't have gated token engagement. I'm going to argue that it did, because while it wasn't token engagement for the hostiles, you were time gated on the directives. All right, it's the same thing. You were time gated on earning the directives to do the solos, to earn the loot, to pull the refinery chest. All right, so
you couldn't earn any of the rare, right?
That's right.
The Bajoran, you couldn't earn the rare or epic directives. You could only earn the uncommons.
Well, the uncommons were
between
sourced.
35 and 39.
Oh, yeah.
You could only earn the uncommons.
Yeah,
That's right. You didn't start earning the rare until you turned Ops 40. That's right. And even then, the only way to earn them, like I remember saying to a lot of people who were able to pull the uncommon chest before Ops 40 that you might want to bank that loot, because once you turn Ops 40, the uncommon loot would start to pay rare directives, but at Ops 39 and down, you weren't able to. Okay? Mm-hmm. So there are those early entry perspectives. All right? Now, that being said, no, the math doesn't change with loot just simply because of hostile size and warp range, Karkin. But it's also the early part of that loop. And they are moving players upwards in level a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit more about the later pieces. And I saw in the chat, oh, well, a whale's talking about it. Listen, are Ops 42s having trouble with the Trillium A refinery? Shouldn't be.
I think some are, but I think it's more about capability of what type of player you are. Like I'm seeing people using their Monavine to punch way up for Trillium A, hitting the 45s, being able to grind that out pretty consistently, being able to double pull that. And that's available.
I know there's nothing wrong with whales, Simo, but they're using it in derogatory fashion in my chat. All right? They're telling me it's not a fair perspective, when in fact it actually is. Omicron says, I have more Trillium A than I know what to do with. Okay, good. That is never a problem. Yeah. Having a surplus is never a problem.
So this is what I'm saying. Like there's Ops 40s, Ops 42s that are doing fine with their trailing melee, and there's Ops 49s that are struggling with the trailing melee. And so I think that what I'm seeing in that is that it's actually more player specific, and whether that is some crewing strategies, some boosting strategies, some research, or maybe some people have prime, some people don't. That's all going to be player specific, but it is possible that an early G4 can maximize their trailing melee.
All right, let me. I want to throw this out there, and I'm not going to throw this screenshot up. I should, but let me ask you a question, Jules, because we've talked about this on content before, and I don't necessarily want to rehash it, but I'm going to very briefly, and we can direct people back to a previous stream. If you, for example, are Ops 42, and you are trying to punch up against the level 48s to get some raw D, right? Cool. If you, in fact, can kill them, that's great. Let me ask a question. If you can only kill one per hull with an impulse crew, should we be using an impulse crew?
No.
No.
No one hostile?
No.
Oh.
God, that's the wrong crew, my friend. I'm not saying any names. I'm not showing any screenshots. That is absolutely not the right crew. Don't run with impulse and loot if you can only kill one per hostile. Yes, I get it. It hurts. Okay? And yes, I get it. You might get a little bit less loot. You're going to get more out of the chest if you can kill more than one. Raj says you can show it. Okay. Since he said so, Raj, here you go. Here's a tier 4 Kelvin killing a level 48. Congratulations to you, by the way. Okay? That's fantastic. This is not the right crew if you're going to kill the 48s. It's not. All right? And this is part of the beauty, in my opinion, of the Mirror Universe design, Jules, is that there are multiple ways to approach this content. All right. And by the way, Simo says, so what is? We did a whole show on potential crews. We should potentially be looking at hostile killing crews, right? We should be looking at, call me crazy, things like Strange New Worlds, James T. Kirk, Sam Kirk on the side, and maybe Mbenga or Una possibly on the other side. We've been talking about Janeway and Doctor on the bridge. Okay, that's right.
I mean, even just with this crew, just changing NTE Picard to captain would have been better.
Exactly. This is not the right crew. Now, if you're going to punch down, says Webb, if you're going to punch down and you can kill 1,000 of these, then go impulse. Agreed. But here's the break. He went for the 48 specifically because the 48 is the one that starts dropping D. Okay? So that's why he tried to punch up to kill this, but in that case, this isn't the right crew. Now you need to kill more. You need to go with a full-on hostile killing crew. And that is not Picard E, Data E, Curon, Rhino. That's loot, primarily. Okay, Data E is good, all right, Rhino, but that's not even the best one. Okay? You want to use the maximum killing crew. Thank you, Shinjo, for the simple description here. Hostile killing crew. Maximum kills until you're maxing out your time as deep as you can. Then drop the loot/impulse if you're running out of time with the hostile crew.
Rhino's crew isn't actually that bad. It sacrifices the loot crew that you're going with 5 of 11. 5's doing nothing while keeping data. So you're still keeping the loot synergy with Picard while gaining some impulse. It's not a horrible downgrade from an impulse / somewhere between an impulse and a loot crew.
Yeah, but we're talking about killing hostiles. We're talking about punching up.
Yeah, but it's not a punch up.
The Picard data works quite well. Works decent enough for killing hostiles. Like that ISO damage.
Decent enough.
Solid.
Decent enough is not good enough here, Karkin.
Yeah.
All right. Decent enough is not good enough here. You need maximum kills because the loot comes from the chests at those levels. All right? You've got to kill more. Okay? You just got to kill more. Now, I'm sorry, I'm losing a little bit in the chat. Spike, Voltron, Spike works. I like Spike. Spike is great. I think he I think he has been supplanted by some of the newer Strange New Worlds. Okay, but yeah,
It wouldn't
Spike.
work for this one because he lost all his shields anyway, right? It would work if you're struggling to kill enough hostiles in the 20 minutes, but every hostile that you kill still isn't depleting your shields.
Yeah.
Then yes, Spike would be a good one because you're going to take less hull damage per hostile that you kill. So if you're like grinding until you've got like 7 minutes left on the timer and you're almost out of hull, then yeah, run Spike because that'll get you more kills per run.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think that could work. All right. But the idea here is not to kill a hostile. All right. It's just not. Now, Guru says you would need to kill 30 plus to make it worthwhile. No crew is going to do that with a tier 4 Kelvin. I think I agree with that, Guru. I don't know if 30 plus is the break-even point. But because it also depends on the loot that you are getting. And let me remind you that if you're taking a look at crap, I just lost my NX01 view. If you're taking a look at the refinery, or not the refinery, at the research, you got to remind yourself that loot crew, generally speaking, is not going to be super, super effective here in comparison. Use the bridge slots you have for killing because you can get a 400% loot crew or a 400% loot bonus just from research with no bridge slots. Okay, so I am not focused on loot. I'm focused on maximum kills, extending the time, getting the most number of kills. All right.
You know, it's been actually asked a lot, why not PMC? And the reason is that all of the ship types are hybrid, including the Explorers. They got 2 energy weapons, 2 kinetic weapons at least. So PMC or using Talon and Cath are not as effective.
Yeah, they really have stepped away from PMC. They've designed themselves away from PMC, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Another problem you do have with Spike.
But the energy shots do throw out a lot more damage than the kinetic. PMC wouldn't be like if it's some new player that doesn't have like a whole great bunch of officers or they're all really low tier or whatever. PMC wouldn't be horrible. I mean, that first shot, those first 2 shots are the energy shots, and they do quite a bit more damage than the last 2, the kinetics.
I think that you're right. It would have the most damage reduction there, but it's not an ideal crew. Is it an option? Sure, it's an option, but it's not the best. Okay,
and it's really only an option for that lowest level of D hostiles.
Yeah.
After that, you're running into territory where Chen doesn't work anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Now, let's come back. I want to circle back around to what Jules was talking about here in mining. We've already proven and shown here that an Ops 42 is going to struggle with the Trillium D refinery, although it is possible in some ways to maybe even get a single pull of D. Maybe not every 3 days, Jules, but at least once every 6 days, they could definitely get a single pull of D. All right, if you dedicated half of your runs to Trillium A and half of your runs to mining as an Ops 42, then you could still pull a little bit of Trillium D out of that Trell D refinery. How do we mine the most efficiently? That was one thing that Rev and Tiger were talking about tonight. Tiger had some big numbers. Not sure where that came from. I think they probably came from significantly higher grade ships. He did mention his G5 ships, so I'm going to assume that he's running Novas and G5 miners as well. Jules, let's talk a little bit about the mining pieces of this. Obviously, G3 mining is going to be really struggling here. But
Tiger?
You've done...
He's not used his Nova. So apparently he's hitting that number using a G4 faction miner. But he does have the G5 mining research done.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to illustrate this because I never built a G4 miner.
Okay, but you are actually on the correct tab. So take on this tab, scroll all the way to the right.
Okay. And for those of you watching in or listening in podcast, I'm going to throw this piece of the screenshot.
No, not that one. Not that one.
No?
Go further right.
Further right.
It's also in the circle as well.
Oh, wow. There's a lot here. Okay. I'm just going to grab
And
what you.
and here's why.
Yeah, here
and
we go.
here's why. So like that other smaller chart, which was already in the graphics room from an earlier stream,
Time
was kind of
is
a condensed.
10:07 p.m. Eastern time for the chart on mining speed that Jules is talking about now. Sorry, sorry, Jules. Go ahead.
And that was more of a condensed, like, let's do some quick math at some kind of good benchmark points. But a lot of people came back and said, okay, well, I actually am a player who is Ops 42, but I already have like a tier 6 miner because I love to mine. This is my thing. I'm not a big grinder. I don't have good hostile crews. I was like, okay, fine. So let's figure out if G4 mining is ever going to be good for you. So here is where we're kind of looking at starting the G4 range because we know that G3 miners will never have the warp range. I was only looking at G4 miners to start with. The big thing about this is that the formula for actual mining is base node speed times the mining laser times all bonuses. That includes research.
My God! That's right. You told me about this. I completely forgot because I was making fun of Griffin, and you said, "Well, he might have accidentally stumbled into a happy accident, didn't he? Because the mining formula is different."
Right. The mining formula is different, but I think the thing that I said that Griffin did right was about faction reputation.
Yeah.
That's a different story. But this one, base node speed. So we've got the regular nodes and we've got the super nodes. For these calculations, I only use the super nodes because that's all you should really be doing. If you can reach the super nodes, you should take the impulse time, the extra rift keys to get up there because it is more than 2.5 times as fast. Net fast. So, the earlier ones, the D, they're 3. It's literally 3 per hour base node speed. But you multiply that by the mining laser, and you multiply that by all bonuses. Now, this research for mirror dust or for mirror Trillium in the mirror universe, that research specifically, they're really high bonuses. G4, that's 6,000%. That's a lot. For most G4 players, they're getting bonuses around 500%, maybe a little bit more than that. So, like, that research is going to completely eclipse over whatever, officers you can put on deck, whatever other research you can do. So in this case, don't use exos. Exactly, Divine. Don't use exos. Don't worry about using mining crews. Use impulse crews so that you can get through those rifts so you can get to that node faster. So that research is going to be a big component, but also so is the laser. So the higher you tier, the more effective you are going to be at mining. And that is why we kind of looked at this and said, hey, is it possible for someone with a very high tier G4 miner to actually be able to mine enough D to do some refines using the mining? And I think yes. I think you would have to be really effective on your Trillium A, where you can get a 3-day supply for every run of Trillium A that you do, which I think is difficult still for a lot of G4 players. But if you can, and you can dedicate one run to mining D with a very high tier G4 miner, it's possible to be able to single pull other time.
I want to come back for just a second and demonstrate to you guys here just a moment ago that I used the G3 miner to show you guys the hourly rate. And by the way, I'm looking in Chronos. Okay. Hey, Ripley! Thank you for your 26-month resub. All right, so I'm going to look inside Chronos, okay, where the mining rate is the lower one. All right, we're talking 3 per hour, right? Really bad. A moment ago, and actually I had forgotten about this. Thank you, Chad. A moment ago, we showed a G3 max miner mining at 4,067 per hour. However, thank you, chat, for reminding me. I actually did build a 4-4 for an auction one time. You can see it's only level 1, but that doesn't affect the mining laser. That is only a ship's ability for mining ore. So if I'm going to take a look, I've got a tier 11, and if I look here, I have a 3,050% mining laser right now at tier 11. All right.
So I would guess, but before you look at the node, I'm just going to guess it's going to be somewhere between 15 and 16,000 an hour.
All right. I also want to point out, by the way, that you're totally going to have the warp range to do this. You're totally going to have the warp range if you've got a high tier G4 miner. Okay. That being said, 3,050%. And I should point out that I only went to level 3 on my mining research. Let's see if Jules is right. We're going to go back to that exact same system. And now I'm going to use the tier 11 Vortivore to click on the same node. Well, daggone it. I'm only at 6,000 now. Why?
Because you're on the number 3 nodes and you're not on the...
I'm on the wrong nodes. All right, well, let's keep going. All right, I'm on the wrong nodes. And by the way, by the time you get a high-tier G4 miner, I will point out, you can get to the higher-tier system, which, by the way, as we have already determined, is where?
Mirror Vendor.
Mirror Vendor. And I've never even been there. So now I'm going to have to go there. Stand by, uno momento, por favor, while I spend rift keys
irresponsibly
for science. All right, where am I? I got to go back in. See, my 20-minute timer already ran out. I'm going to spend more vouchers. More vouchers. Okay? Do it. I'm going to show you guys. I should have.
So Rema said, Mirror Vendor is the easiest to, fastest to get to, whether or not you're using premium keys.
Yeah,
it's not close, but it is far. That's why I recommend impulse speed, so you can travel quickly in between the nodes. And I agree. I think that it's tough. I think that a lot of people are saying it's not worth it, that mining is not viable, and I would have to agree. If you can't actually hit any of the D hostiles, like this is your only option, then it is an option.
Prio says, who has a high tier G4 miner? Well, miners do. Okay. Not me. I don't like it. All right. But miners do. So, I mean, there's that. I feel like I took the wrong path. Where am I? Man, I went to the wrong daggone system. Okay. I got to work my way through here. I'm going to go to Andoria. And we're going to go down the bottom way. It's going to spend a little bit of premium. I went the wrong way. Got it! Hey, Tibbs, what's going on, man? Tibbs with the ring. Thank you. Woo! All right. So we're going to we're gonna go the wrong way around. And I should have loaded impulse, but it is what it is for right now. So
right now we are focused on G4 because we're kind of looking at the biggest pinch point of this loop. I think for a lot of G5, hitting the hostiles is the best case scenario.
Agreed.
And while you're traveling, I'll just kind of mention it because people can still see this in the graphics room. G6, the Selkie itself, because of the mining laser of the Selkie.
Bomb.
It's just it's bonkers. But it's also not just the mining laser being bonkers. It's because it is used in the formula.
That's right.
Look at mining laser.
That's right.
Times research.
Look at the research that it gets to.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you're going to be able to pretty easily, with a couple of runs on D, be able to double chest. And that's with like a mid-tier Selkie. So we're seeing, screenshots from players with Selkies being like, oh yeah, mining D is the way to go. I don't have to even think about that loop right now because I'm not even focused. I'm just getting my miner up there, mining the D, and then bringing it home. No problem. Don't even have to hit a hostile.
Quick question, Jules.
And I think that's kind of like what I see as like end game, right? You want a loop that requires less brain space later in the loop process. Right now, you want to think about it, you want to refine it, but later on, when you're done and you want to sunset that loop, you want it to take as little brain space as possible. You're just sending a ship out to mine for a little bit, and I think that's kind of the best case scenario for these end loop scenarios.
Have we, by the way, examined where in the formula the Mirror Universe EXO falls? Because if this were the case, then the Mirror Universe mining EXO is completely worthless and is a bug, essentially.
I can't imagine that there'd be any way that unless they change the formula specifically for that EXO, that EXO has any value.
Well, I mean, the loot EXO from Incursions, that's a net boost, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not. But there's so little loot. There's so little loot bonuses in the game that it is very noticeable. So if you try to run like a Borg solo armada, you know how there's the 5,000% loot bonus from running Borg solos? I think it's also true with expansion cubes.
5,000. That's the
expansion cubes.
That's for the expansion cubes. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
50%.
So you run incursion loot, you'll have 5,150 as a G5 player. So that's nothing. Like it does, and we've tested that doesn't really work for expansion cubes. We know that it doesn't change the loot just for that exo comp. All their exo comps also just fit in with buffs. So unless they change the formula for this particular mining buff, I do not imagine that it'll be an impactful buff for any player who gets that.
Where am I? I've lost my place. I'm in Tygo Core. Okay, there we are. All right, almost there.
Go up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've lost my place. Sorry. All right. Still going. Still trying. Still, by the way, all the time. We've been yapping, and I'm still not to the right system yet. Just throwing it out there.
You have impulse on your miner too?
No.
Oh well, that's why.
Yeah, no, I just
dead air, man.
I just went for exploring systems. It was a waste of keys. It was a waste of vouchers. I'm just doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for science. Look at everything I'm spending right now.
Oh, yeah, he didn't send his miner. He's exploring with his NX.
Yeah, I took the NX, which was a terrible idea. Okay, here we go. So we are now in. Oh wait, no, that's mirrored to Daredex. I got one more jump. I got to get over to Vendor. More. By the way, we can show that there is demining in here. It's got the same base rate as it did in Tygo Core. So we got one more jump. We're gonna go. Yeah, we got one more jump. We're gonna go to Vendor. Okay.
Oh, I see what Grungendol is posting. Okay. So we're reading this Exocop wrong. You know those new. Yeah, the lucky miner, the bonus research that gives you extra upon mining.
It works like that.
Oh!
So it would be a net increase. So it is good.
It would be net, yeah.
It's going to double the amount that you mine. Oh, guys, that's huge.
Without draining it faster,
that's the key word right there. Upon collection.
Gives a bonus
Is this gonna
amount.
Break nodes here too.
Probably. All right. Let's come back. Let's come back into the game. I am ready to go into Vendor. Look, it only took me 6 minutes to get there.
Perfect.
Yeah. Now, Zoidberg says, has anybody gotten one of these? I'll tell you why most people probably haven't, because they haven't worked their revouchers down. All right. As a matter of fact, you guys just saw that this is for the first time this month I can actually pull my vouchers. All right, and this is where it comes from. So let's see what happens, Jules. I'm gonna take a stab here.
Let's see it.
Roll the dice.
Son of a biscuit. Didn't get one. All right.
Womp womp
womp womp.
You have a button for that.
Yeah, I do have a button for it. Let me find it here. Yeah. 0. Okay, now coming into Mirror Vendor, I now see that the base mining rate has almost tripled. We were at 14 a moment ago, and that wasn't truly base, but comparing 14 now to 38, it's 250%. So I'm going to take that, and now with my G4 ship, I'm now at 17,617 in an hour, meaning that I would be able to mine roughly, divide that by 4, roughly 4,000 in a 15-minute period. That's with a G4. Obviously, ooh, looky there. No, kill you. Stop. Wait, what are you trying? How did you attack my ship? I thought I had a shield up. Anyway, or attack my base. Anyway, look here, folks. Interesting to note. Okay, there's my G3, 10,846. There's my G4, 17,617. All right, let's load up. I have a Tier 2 Nova. Tier 2. Just a Tier 2. And it's not quite as good as my G4 ship. Does that support the data there, Jules? It does, indeed. Okay, here's my Nova. Wait a second.
Well, I put the Nova up there because what you're actually looking at is the Nova with the G5 research. So if you look at the Tier 2, D,
That's going to make a big
and then
difference.
the G4 minor, because that is actually true. That's why I put both minors in the G5 bracket.
Yeah.
Same thing with G6. Like if you are just starting G6 and you're trying to compare, well, should I use
let's
my
do-
Nova or should I build a
let's
Selkie?
do
And
more.
No.
Let's do more then, because I've got the dusty thingies.
The
All right.
dusty thing.
The dusty thingies. So let's continue
What?
showing off the actual benefits of this research. Okay, boom, boom. There we go. And I can only do, I think, 3 more levels because I'm not a G6 player, so I'm going to get stuck here at level 6, right? And boom, there I am. So I can now do level 6. Now I'm up to 50,000%. 50,000%. I was only at 6,000% a moment ago. So let's come back and let's see what these nodes look like now. My G3 ship, 78,000. My G4 ship, 128,000. And my Nova at 121,000. All right. Now, those are hourly. So in 15 minutes, I'm going to probably use my G4 ship, right? That is going to get me what? Roughly 30, between 30 and 35,000? 30, 60?
Yeah,
90?
so 2 runs of you mining D will allow you to single pull your D chest. Here, I mean, the difference is that, so for an early G5 who may not be able to kill the appropriate sized hostiles, I can see a reason for maybe having the miner as an option.
Yeah.
Or if you're a player who doesn't invest a lot in hostile kills. But I just shared this in this circle. I have an Ops 54 with the G5 uncommon ship killing 60s. And pretty handily, too. So I think that this is a very niche problem and a very niche fix for that problem until we get to G6. I don't believe that mining is a viable option, except for niche cases where hostile killing won't solve the problem for you specifically.
Exactly. I think that's really important to point out, Jules. I think that's super duper important to point out, is that it is not the best option, but an option for somebody who doesn't have the ship strength to pull it off. Voltron says, but how many 60s? I don't know. Looking at the whole health he lost there, he can probably kill about 30, maybe 40. Okay? Omicron says that ship has to be max fortified and buffed. Maybe. Don't know by the screenshot, but so what if it is? Use your tools, gamers. Use it. We've talked about this a million times. You got to use the tools of the game. We can't go up there naked with our pants down around our ankles and expect to be fully successful. We got to use the research, tools, exos, crews, and buffs, and this and that. The things that are in the game that we are allowed to use to make us better. I mean, golly, gosh darn.
I mean, DJz, what do you spend your boosts on right now? Like, what's your daily use of your
you want to know where I'm spending my Titan fortification right now? In the mirror.
Dead Space.
In the mirror universe.
Okay, the mirror universe. Good.
Depends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the point. Like, we don't have a lot of
I'll do it in Zindi space. If I got to do a Zindi run, I'll do it over there because I try to punch up against the Zindi too.
That's fair.
So use it for silence.
Yeah. Now, I get it. Simo says some of us may have a big hammer, and that's great. That's what I think people are missing here. You have options. There's not the right ways, the wrong ways. There's different ways for you as a player. If you are somebody who hasn't developed ship strength because you do love mining, like Bubba Joe, all right, maybe everything gets invested into your miners. Well, then, golly, you've got the capability of playing there. Maybe you've got everything invested into your best warship because you like that, or you like being able to punch up, or you like being able to hit that challenging content. You like being able to solo, like single ship solar armadas. Crazy enough, folks, that's a real thing. Maybe you are a player who is following the G5 Armada strategy set by Jules and Blue about soloing G5 Armadas if you have the ship strength. I'm not talking about solos. I'm talking about groups. Soloing group Armadas because of the loot benefits. There are different ways to approach and play, and I think it blows my mind how the community's missing this about the mirror universe.
I don't think they're missing it. I just think that we are hearing people that are in these niche categories where they can't punch up, they can't punch down effectively.
Yeah.
Like there is these, and that is what we brought this up when it was launched, when we said, why is there a gap between 50 and 58 hostels? Why is there these big gaps that exist? And a lot of it has to do with it. I think Tiger specifically made it so that there's points in which you would have to decide different strategies.
Yeah.
My big retort is mining is not a strategy because until you get to Selkie, or if you, that is literally your only last resort. So I kind of wish mining, if this exocomp was like integral to his math on the mining, then I get it.
Yeah.
But because it's so rare to get that, because the premium tokens to get to these far off systems easy and quickly are so hard to get, I think there's some tweaks that can be made to make mining a more of a viable option for a lot of players. Then maybe I understand the balance between strategies. We're hearing feedback from players who cannot effectively use those strategies, or just, as you're saying, haven't invested the time to figure out what their player account can do for them.
Yeah.
I did want to go back because I was trying to put one of the children to bed while you were talking about this, but just kind of understanding the balance of what the Liquid D store actually provides per generation. So if you don't mind heading back to the sheet,
Okay.
the Mirror Universe spreadsheet, click over to the refinery.
Okay.
Scroll to the right to our black prediction area, and then a little bit down.
Look
A little bit down
this.
to the Liquid D
My
store
gosh.
balance sheet.
This is
And
unbelievable.
I think this is this is not really a tool for you guys to play with as much, just because like it illustrates a point. You can play with this, especially if we do get future more sourcing of the Liquid D and you like really want to balance what your store options are, sure. But I wanted to show what is the max possible income that a player can get if they are able to double pull both chests. We've already talked about G4 probably not being able to do that. More than likely not being able to do that. So even with saying that, I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, you can always single pull, which I still know is not fully accurate. But I'm just going to go ahead and put it in there. I'm going to make that change live right now and say, okay, you're going to double pull your Trillium A and you're only going to single pull your Trillium D. And here's what we can afford. It's not much. Like it's going to be, if you want to progress in this loop, you probably want to prioritize Rift Keys. You want to continue to get enough common and uncommon to continue this loop. You probably want to prioritize the Rift Keys. And then when you can, you're probably want to pull Mirror Dust because you want to do the research. So the holodeck, the officers, the token resources, those are trash for most people. The forbidden tech, that's not 4G4 yet. But also like having excess banking up so that you can upgrade these officers in case you've, heavily invested in, say, Mirror Universe data and you're ready to upgrade him, but you can't because you need thousands of Trillium D to upgrade him, then this is going to be a problem for G4. So I do want to, and I hope that it can continue to stretch that Liquid D needs massively more sourcing, and particularly for G4, if we are going to ask them to tier officers, even just do the basics that we are going to use with this.
All right. I'm going to give you a nugget.
Thoughts on that before moving on?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to give you a nugget.
Give me a nugget.
There will be significantly more Liquid D sourcing in the month of July. Like, I hear the fear, right? It was very present all throughout the state of the game. I hear it now in Jules. We're looking at the math. Community, I probably shouldn't say this, but there will be vastly more D available to everybody who participates. Yeah, didn't say anything about a prime. Didn't say anything about spending. Everyone who participates in the July arc. Ha! Okay? I had to find a way.
Why did you do that? Someone clip that.
All right. There you go. I said it.
Oh, boy.
Scopely can can me later if they want, but I am tired of hearing all the fear and the negativity. This is something that Scopely should come out and say, hey, we hear. And you know what?
I am so positive. I'm full of positive energy.
Thank you, Skelador. And if I'm being straight up with you, Tiger all but said it tonight. Tiger all but said it tonight. That he even asked Rev, what do you want? Do you want raw D? Do you want liquid D? Rev answered with both, which I think is a fine answer. Okay? But Tiger literally asked, he literally said that in the coming 60 days, it's going to improve significantly. He's got lots of designs, and I've seen it. And I'm going to take this opportunity right here to say you will have more. How much more? How much more is going to be on you? Going to say that? How much more is going to be up to you?
Right. So, okay, that's great. And I think that what we'll see is whenever we see additional sourcing for a currency, that usually comes with some sort of expansion to spend that currency on. So I think that we'll be adding to this balance sheet to kind of include whatever sources that is. And I honestly could just add in officers in here too. People want more of a realistic.
DJ, what is wrong with you?
Nothing is wrong with me.
So many things.
Everything is wrong with me. I'm trying to calm the people. All right. Listen, I'm gonna come back to a question that I asked a little bit ago. Okay. I asked the question that in the Mirror Universe refinery, how many people had started spending on other stuff? Some people said that they were starting to do a couple of things of Forbidden Tech or Holodeck or officers or this or that. And I haven't yet. Because I advised people to hang out for a minute. There were two reasons for that. One reason for that is that I wanted players to build up a little bit of a bank to allow them full immersion, possibly, in being able to upgrade their officers. Okay? Because obviously you need a little bit of a bank to be able to upgrade your officers. But secondly, all right, and I oh, Beck is here? Wait, seriously, is Beck here?
Well, you said leaks.
I did not say leaks. How on earth did she get summoned that quickly? Unbelievable. All right, let me just say this, okay? I'm just going to say this very quickly. There is a second reason. There is a second reason that I have not started spending my liquid D on these other refineries. Okay? I have seen next month. Let me repeat it. There is another reason that I haven't started spending my liquid D. It's because I have seen next month. That is all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. And listen, for the record, if I'm wrong, then what'd you lose? 10 days? 20 days? Who cares? Why don't you just hang out for a minute, see what's coming, what options you may have with your D, and let's see how it gets better. Have I seen the light? Could just be an oncoming train. Don't know, Silverhawk. Possible.
That's a good one.
Okay, yeah, could be an oncoming train. Could be light at the end of the tunnel. Don't know. All I'm telling you is, and I'm giving, and listen, people sometimes say that I play the game unfairly because I know what's coming, so I know what
I personally love the D.
Yeah. Sometimes people say, Jules, that I play the game a little bit unfairly because I know what's coming, so I know what currencies and stuff. And I have shared that with you guys in the past. Have I not? True or false, I have said in the past that there might be a currency or this or that I might save for upcoming content. I am telling you now, I am not spending my D this month. I'm going to just wait and see.
On extra stuff.
On extra stuff. On extras. I'm still doing rift keys.
You're still pushing forward.
That's right.
The loop.
I'm still doing rift keys. I'm still doing mirror dust exchange. BC Tupper says, why are we yelling? I'm trying to make sure that everybody hears. Hey, you in the back!
I'm still doing the holodeck because just doing the single chest triples your advancement of the holodeck.
Oh, God, if I only cared about the holodeck. Tell me why I should care about the holodeck.
I don't know. I mean, it's got good enough buffs later on. But, the other thing, too, is that, these advancements for buildings, you could have extra materials, even if you just cared about that. But the fact is that a single chest that is relatively cheap can triple the advancement of a building. Like, that's kind of unheard of. The Forbidden Tech Exchange doesn't really increase my income of Forbidden Tech materials. It is great, but it does not extremely increase it. So I still do the single chest of the holodeck.
You guys are killing me in the chat. There's like a 5-minute conversation going on about the fact that I'm yelling and I'm hard of hearing. Wait, what? What?
Well, we're not balancing microphone levels here. Okay, that's pro level stuff.
Listen, I balance microphones. All the processing comes out to, it should be right around -4. All right, but by the time you listen to this final, then it should be around -4 dB. Shinjo says, it's a good thing they tell you about future content. Now that I think about it, it keeps you from doing crazy things like spending $1,000 on a Payflower. Do you understand the hot tua coming out of my mouth? Yeah, thank you. Clip it. Please clip it.
I think that anytime they include the letter D in any currency or ship or anything, it's just bound to be misused by this podcast.
1,000%. I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day. I have no idea why this meme is as prominent as it is. I mean, why? This is unbelievable to me. I can't think of anything that has been more viral in previous years. Why is this one? Why is this one the one of the century? Yes, I've seen the video. I get it. I mean, seriously, that? Really? This is the most viral thing that's happened in years. It's crazy.
Since Tiger King, yeah.
Bigger than Tiger King.
I just said since Tiger King. I didn't say it wasn't bigger.
Oh, God. It's just crazy. Anyway. Yeah, it's a general rule with memes. It makes no sense. All right. I appreciate the, I saw she finally came forward. Yeah, I heard she was hiding for a little bit, but now she's got merch. Here's the thing.
She had to get merch ready.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Had to have her lunch ready to go.
You
Boom.
realize that anybody could sell that merch. Like, she doesn't have anything trademarked here. Like, there's no time. Anybody could be selling that merch right now. Just throwing that out there. I thought about selling some.
Someone will.
I thought about putting some on my merch page. I'm not going to do it. Just saying.
So
Candy White, we need some hot Tua merch. Make it relatable to Star Trek. All right, but yeah. Oh no, there's
if we're doing
random
this in
peeps already selling
podcast form, do you want to do an ad here soon? Ad break?
I'm not doing ad breaks tonight. I guess I probably should, but I'm not.
Sure.
That being said, we have been recording for almost 2 hours, actually a little over 2 hours. So we probably have most of it out. Listen, all of this tonight is not 1,000% what I had intended for tonight's show. I really was just going to kind of play and grind a little bit, but I'm glad that we were able to turn in some teaching stuff and look at some of the data and the analytics, because that's what we do. Thank you so much, Jules. I appreciate that. Matters, thank you so much. I hope that you guys got something out of this, because, again, I'm going to share something with you that I'm probably not allowed to share. Stop me. you realize that, like, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's bad and I don't want to do this. But you know what? Even in our chat tonight, you know what the common thing is? Listen, I'm not unhappy with the mirror universe, Jules. That's not what they're saying. There's little tweaks. Vouchers might be one. Keys could be another. Even the mining thing could be a piece of it. But people are coming around.
Yay, bugs!
Yay! People are coming around to playing in the mirror universe. Right? People that actually give a response to the state of the game. Yes, it's in the show title, Divine. SMH. SMH. Because what we're complaining about is incohesive and not what we're demanding as far as changes. A. B, there is some really good math here. And I know, I've said this before. I've said this before, Jules, and I hope, listen, I shared a lot of this information with Jules before this arc launched. I remember even coming out and saying publicly, Jules, we got a ton of math to do. We got a ton of math to do.
Oh, yeah.
And the math here is not the worst that this game has ever launched. The math here is actually pretty damn solid. Okay, the math is, as we were talking earlier, a decent first impression. Are there things that could have been better? Absolutely. Are there things that are going to get better? Absolutely. Is this as bad as what some of the loud, raucous minority are talking about vocally on Discord and on Reddit and all these other places? I don't think so. I think this feature has some depth, and I think it's month one, and we haven't seen all of it yet. And we've been saying that for every single arc forever. Regarding the state of the game, I was disappointed in it. I was disappointed in it for multiple reasons. Not just on Scopely's side, on our side as well, community. I think we missed the point. I think we missed the messaging. I think we missed some of the insight that was being offered to us because we wanted to yell about a timer, or we wanted to yell about a key, or we wanted to do this or that. I think we missed in the state of the game. I think we missed what Tiger was trying to deliver with this product. Look here. I see this in the chat. First-time chatter. Yo, what's up, Grok? My complaint is the cap on the key and token. Let me save up to do it when I want to do it, not when they think I should. I agree with you to a certain degree. I think the cap should definitely be raised. I don't know about unlimited, but I'm with you. And it should be at least doubled. At least doubled, and I wouldn't mind tripled. Okay? So I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, 1,000%. What about the timers? I think the timers, Tiger talked about this tonight. They're both a blessing and a curse, but they are providing players strategy. Okay? So I think that's not bad. Okay? Spectre says the implementation of this design was bad. The design itself, not horrible, but it's fixable if they're willing to. And I guess I kind of agree with that. Okay? You're talking about implementation as far as caps, number of keys, amount of sourcing, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's not bad. Okay? I think there were definite disconnects this month between live ops and game design. Divine, I agree. I think that might be one of the most frustrating misses of the month. Not that either side did anything wrong, but that the true intent of the mirror universe was not impressed upon us via live ops. All right? The events did not deliver the intent of the feature. By encouraging daily runs of this, we actually violated the sanctity of the design. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So I think we missed that a little bit.
Because Tiger had stressed, especially when the arc launched, the PvP nature of the mirror universe and the struggle with the events to harness that goal, that energy. Like, what is your feedback? What do you think could have been done wrong? Or do you just think that this was just another miscommunication between live ops and game design?
I agree with Hammy on this one, that the entire nature of the mirror universe involves violence, PvP. no protected cargo. Everything's at risk. I mean, even in the shows, the Mirror Universe, Terrans are a brutal, hostile force. We are evil. There is violence, death, killing, betrayal. All right? I mean, the Mirror Universe, lore-wise, is fine when it comes to PvP. Again, I think I have a ton of respect for the Arc Runner. I think he did overall a pretty decent job this month. I think that there were a couple of misses. I think the PvP event, unfortunately, was one because of the math and the tokens, right? If that day we had gotten a gift of 10 entries, if that day we had gotten a gift of 3,000 vouchers, then the PvP goals were fine. Right, Jules? I mean, that was the problem.
Right.
That was the problem. The milestones for deaths and or kills was way too high for the limited sourcing of vouchers that we got. I personally, I think it was a mistake. I don't think that event came off right. Okay?
But I think that that's probably some of the community feedback is that they look at this event as one of the major PvP event flops and says, well, the events were bad. Like holistically, events bad. But we also tie PvP to the Mirror Universe, the design of the Mirror Universe vis-a-vis Tiger, and say, if that event was supposed to be the lore for this, then they are not talking. But maybe it was just some minor tweaks that made the event bad that put a sour taste in everyone's mouth.
That was just, I mean, it was just a mathematical error. That was a math error. Plain and simple. I mean, I have a ton of respect for the Arc Runner. We get along great. We talk privately all the time. We're friends. I consider him a friend. I don't think he'd be offended by what I say. I think that event was just a mistake. I think it was an error. Okay? I haven't asked him directly, but he would probably say the same. The math wasn't right on that event. Okay. Doo-doo happens. All right? But I do agree, Jules. It's unfair to judge the entire month based off events on the PvP event. All right. Now, this was another thing brought up in the state of the game that I didn't necessarily really agree with. I understand the sentiment behind it, but we've already taught why the Syndicate event, the first milestone. We know why. That's not news. We know why. It's mathematically proven as to why. The packs are this, the packs are that, and the events are based off the packs. I understand that it's something that made people upset, but I mean, it's not new. That being said, has nothing to do with the Arc Runner. That event had
or even
absolutely
the content of the game.
No, nothing. Nothing at all. So I don't judge him on that. I think that he missed a little bit on the daily entries into the Mirror Universe. That might have been a little overkill. I think we could have probably done it like it was designed and do an event that spans 72 hours. I think that, in hindsight, being 2020, I think that would have been a positive change. That being said, I think there were some great events this month. The trivia was fun. How many times did we see, like, surprisingly rewarding events? Like, I know some people said that there weren't that many events this month, but there actually were. There was only, I think, 2 or 3 days this month where I counted a singular event to do. Like, we don't necessarily realize, or maybe we do, and we don't track it, or we don't call it out, or we don't pay attention. There used to be far fewer events. I mean, this month, on average, for free to play, there was between 2 and 3 events per day for them to do. I mean, that's a lot of coding, guys, for a singular Arc Runner in a 20-day span. That's a lot. And
you know,
some of those events, some of them paid stupidly well. There was a lot of synergy this month, says Shadowed Fox. You're damn straight there was. There was a lot of synergy this month. So
drink.
Take a shot. All right, so I got to be honest with you. If I am giving an overall grade to the Arc Runner on event design this month, gosh, it'd be hard to give him less than a B. Maybe a B minus, but probably a solid B. I think it was real good. I think there were two bad errors. But out of 60 plus events, That ain't bad.
I'm also curious, and I'd love to see if we can get some player feedback here. If you can show in the chat, how much premium dust did you earn? And also add free to play if you are a free to play player, because I'm very curious to see. We calculated this very early on, and we said
we did
675 premium dust for free to play.
People
and
did
that was
a
through
lot
event
more
engagement.
than that. People did a lot more than that.
If you finished both of the heroic spend SMSs, if you were able to do that, then you would have got a little bit over 2,000. And we excluded all heroic SMSs. We excluded all SOBs out of that. But I'm curious to see where people actually landed, because I think that a lot of players who didn't spend a lot of money got way more than 2,000. So throw it up in the chat, in the Twitch chat or on Discord, what you got.
Okay. So, wow, Matters got 15,000? Really? That's a lot. Twab says, got 4,000 and I spent 20 bucks. Matters says, spent 20 bucks, got 15,000. Stradlorian got 8,000.
I was lucky with the Forbidden Tech events because of the
You had a
investment
bunch
I've done in
banked
the
up.
past
Yeah.
on my FTs. So I get a pretty high score every time there's a Forbidden Tech SLB without spending anything. No.
Spectre says, I got 22,000, but I spent too much on mirrored data. Dorf says, got 11,000. Timmy says, I was complete free to play this month, and I still ended up with 2,600. All right. I did okay. I have done 2 levels of research, so I don't remember how much those actually cost, and I'm still holding 4,300. So what did I have, Jules? Probably a little over 5,000. And I'm a G5 player. I got boned on leaderboards. All right. I'm a G5. I got absolutely screwed on leaderboards. And I still got 5,000. That was not a bad
5,625.
That was not bad.
Yeah.
Look here, Dr. Warbird. Free to play, 4,128. Deckard, 4,000 with a $20 battle pass. Clifford, 2,800, $20 battle pass. Silver Tab, free to play, got 1,900. And he already did 2 researches. All right. Tarpitude's got 5,000. Guys, there was obviously a little bit of varying in your responses, but is it more than the 600 that we predicted for free to play? I'm gonna remind you guys, it's in the graphics room. Go back to the graphics room where we predicted how much premium currency you were gonna get. And I'm looking for it. I don't remember exactly. Here it is. I'll copy it back down to the bottom of the graphics room.
Wait, don't do that just yet.
Okay.
Don't do that just yet, because I included something. You may have to go back a little bit in the circle chat and find the little screenshot of the premium mirror dust earned, because this is accurate as of today.
All right, I'm going to throw this up. Wow, there we go. Okay, throw that up in your screen. I'll throw this down in the graphics room. This is kind of a summation of what you could have earned this month. All right. Now, again, I think this was widely variable because there were also some solo leaderboards in there as well, right? They weren't just quantum solo leaderboards, wasn't there? Or was it just quantum solo leaderboards?
I am only including the sources for premium mirror dust. This is every single source of premium mirror dust. And this is the thing that I was trying to just I'm going to keep them honest. Okay, go for it.
Wasn't there points in placing in the Mirror Picard leaderboards as well?
That was included. That's included in here.
That's included in the quantum
SMSs, because the actual meta, if you had 4,000, was the total that you could get from the meta. So if you completed the meta, then you would have gotten this. And you didn't need to win both Picard. There's a lot of ways that you could have actually finished that SMS without even winning a single Picard SLB. So that was harder to calculate, but I just said, if you finished it, let's go ahead and put like the maximum you could possibly earn. And here's the reason why. I showed this number about halfway through this arc to the arc runner and said, this is what we're looking at. This is really low. And he was like, that doesn't seem right. Let me look through the events and let's make sure that we're actually getting him more. And that was it. That was all his response was. Like, I'm going to take a look at it. Typical response we've got. But look what we've got today. we've got another event running outside of an arc.
Yeah.
So maybe they are, and they've always promised that the main source of premium mirror dust was going to come through events, and typically heroic events. We know premium just kind of means a different type of heroic, and we're going to see that more and more. And I'm happy that they're upping that game.
That might be a controversial take. I know some people are probably not super happy about the quantum. That was another thing that came up in the state of the game. And to be honest with you, to being completely fair, I didn't even really like Hammy's response to that question. He said, heroic is still heroic, but this is different. I don't like the idea of labeling it heroic plus, kind of like the content creators were talking about, but I also didn't like Hammy's response to this. Listen, quantum is literally its own event series, specifically designed for premium mirror dust. That's all there is. That's all that needs to be said. It is a premium, and you can't even say spenders only because there was a fair amount available this month. You guys saw it in the chat. Thousands. Okay? He said harder, Otter, and that's why I said I didn't really like that response, because a lot of that did involve some type of spending, some type of hoarding mechanic, this or that. However, I think both sides got it wrong, okay? Quantum is not heroic, all right? It definitely can be, but Quantum is a heroic style of event that is specifically surrounding this content. I'm okay differentiating it. I like the fact that they put it in a separate bucket. I like the fact that they made it very clear to customers and to players that this is how we're going to do premium dust. If you see Quantum, then you've got an opportunity to get premium dust. Boom. That's it. It was just a category. Just a category. So I don't think that is necessarily a bad terminology. I mean, at least it wasn't heroic. Even though the structure of those are similar, it conditions us to expect a different outcome. Okay? Now, that being said, Dorf says the quantum events are going to only condition us to hoard even stronger, and that is an unfortunate truth. I am now trying to decide if I should go ahead and spend my temporal artifacts, or I'm going to wait for an event, because I'll probably be rewarded. But how much benefit am I going to lose on, Jules, if I don't upgrade my artifacts now? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
But also with specialty buildings, specialty ships,
yeah,
those different leaderboards came in, and now it's like putting everything into question, things that you wouldn't normally hoard. Do I hoard them now? So
yeah.
I don't disagree.
And I don't like that,
that's important
because
to you.
I don't like that very much, Scopely, because you have specifically said you don't like players to hoard, right? But gosh, this is the kind of design that makes us, right? This is the kind of design that will literally punish progression if you don't hoard. So it's tough.
Our very own RC Putz, he won the building upgrade SMS because he said, I'm going to hoard this. I don't know when it will come up again, but I'm going to hoard these. And he crushed his leaderboard.
Oh, destroyed it.
Yeah.
He probably could have won a second leaderboard if he had held back a little bit, right?
He would have won the G6 leaderboard.
Yeah, he scored.
On my server.
What was it? Over 1 million points? I mean, it was crazy.
No, by 2 times. Like he had over 140 million or something like that.
Oh, nuts. Just absolutely.
Yeah, 147 million.
Yeah.
The next person was half. So yeah, like I mean,
He
this
had
is the
some
thing
buffer.
though. Like
Yeah, he
RC
had some
Putz
buffer.
is always, and I'm speaking for him, even though he's here. RC Putz is always the person that says, I'm going to hoard for events. And I am going to be very happy when I can progress that forward. And I'm not going to care if I can't progress it forward in between events.
I do want to go out
And
on record.
that's his play style.
I want to go out on record, Jules, and state that after the episode we did on the Mirror Dust solo leaderboard, I ended up coming in 6th place. I lost. All right. I gave away the strategy, and I ended up coming in 6th place. All right.
Shame.
Dag on it. But
I won it, by the way.
But you know what? Yeah, I know
Using your strategy.
a lot of people DM'd me and said, hey, listen, I'm going to win my board by a lot because of what you talked about with the trade downs. And by the way, does anybody regret it? The trade downs are still the right way to go. Even after, like, a lot of people were like, oh, they just invalidated your whole thing by unlocking the uncommon. Not really. It's still a good strategy because there's a lot of good research down there.
Let's accumulate the last 2 conversations we had. Are you hoarding your mirror dust right now?
Oh, Kinda, yeah, kinda. I am. I spent a little bit tonight for you guys on screen, but yes, I am. I got done some of the important things that I wanted to do, Jules. But yeah, I am kind of hoarding because I kind of feel like next month I'm going to see stuff like this. We're going to see quantum events. I mean, it's another mirror universe arc. We're probably going to see some quantum stuff. We're probably going to see some engagement with the research tree. I mean, we're probably going to see some of that stuff. So yeah, I'm saving it right now, Jules. I don't like it. I want research, but I am saving most of it. I did spend some. Like you can look here. I've been working on my isolytic a little bit because I like it. All right, but yeah, there's going to be some stuff coming, right? I mean, it's going to happen. The trade down was not a trap, Neon. I don't regret it. I'm still fine. And by the way, I've been fully engaged. Do you remember when we did that episode when we were talking about the math and like how much uncommon and stuff that you would need? Jules, we were talking about that. Yo, Theo! Thank you for the 21-month resub. Appreciate that. You remember when we were talking about that, Jules? And I said, would you believe that I had 6,000 or 8,000 uncommon? Look, you guys saw halfway through the month where I spent down to nothing. And look, I got 8,400 uncommon right now and 11,200 common. And you guys saw me spend a couple of thousand of that tonight on stream. All right? So, I mean, I'm not that. No, I don't regret trading it all down because now I still got plenty more uncommon. Now, again, I'm in a different place than a large percentage of the population when it comes to the Trillium D refinery. I get that. This loop is quite sustainable for someone at my ops level right now. Okay? I acknowledge it's not that way for everybody, but I'm in a really good spot. I'm in a good spot. Simmo says boring. I know! I would like it to, God, knock on wood. I'd like it to be a little bit more of a challenge, but no.
I do have one last topic to talk about if we're kind of wrapped up here, or did you have more of state of the game review that you wanted to do?
Nah, I can give more later. But yeah, let's talk. Let's teach. Teach. What you got?
Griffin was right.
Oh, God.
I'm telling.
Oh, God. All right, guys.
Griffin was onto something.
Here's what he's talking about. Okay?
Not just that one, but the rare as well. So go ahead in the circle. You can go ahead pop up the first pink colored one. I don't know if I like the color, but fuchsia colored image. Go ahead, throw that up on screen. So I tested this. Both the premium and rare. I recklessly spent for science. And I tested to make sure to see where the rare and the premium positive FKR repetition fit into the formula. And they fit into the last bracket that is doubled by Exos.
Yeah, sure is.
And here's the thing.
Oh, God.
For a G5 player, we can max the rare and premium. We can max the rare to 175%. We can max the premium up to 305%, giving you nearly 500% more positive rep gain. Now, that is more than almost anything else in this category combined. Like, it is a huge chunk. It is a massive amount of rep gain loss. But it is literally doubled by the exo comps. And I'm not just saying doubled by the exo comps. I mean, that just it's in both parts of the equation. So if you add up the G5, the G4, and the G3 exo comp, you are actually tripling its effect, causing a 1,500% rep increase. Now, take a look.
What the hell are we talking about here? Griffin, there is no way you knew this. There is no way you knew this when you spent on this. There's no way.
There's no way he did that. There's no way he knew that either. And Putz, it's way better than 2,000 or 3,000 overall. God. Because if you are a G5 player and you max out all the research that you can as a G5, which I am sure that that Griffin would have done if he was still G5. And I know obviously he is G6 now, but he did not get up to 15 billion. He's been grinding his butt off to get to 15 billion, which is why he's investing in this stuff so early. Go to the second image now. But if you could put all of that together, the max that a G5 player can do is 4,500% rep gain from a hostile. Now, in the second image here, you'll see this is also available on stfc.space. This is the list of the hostiles in the mirror universe and just the early levels, just the common, because we're not going to waste uncommon rift keys getting up to the higher ones. This is just the common. Here is the rep gains per hostile here. Each one of these hostiles has a rep gain that is 3 times larger than a primary rep gain from an equivalent level faction hostile, which means they are so much more potent.
Yeah.
And if we only cared about even just one of these factions, it is still 3 times higher. So why am I even suggesting these hostiles in here?
Well,
if
we're going to
you are at a
modify
spot,
4,500% and times about 5. And
it is a lot.
let's do this. For me, I can hit the 61s. I can hit so 360,000 times 4,500%. God, that's 16 million rep per hostile.
Per hostile. How many do you think you can hit in a run?
Per hostile. I on the 61s, I can actually kill with Loot Crew. I could probably myself kill between 15 and 20. So let's just say 320.
No. Don't use Loot Crew. Use
Well, that's
No,
part.
you want Loot Crew
because you're getting all these giant percentages, right? Won't it be diluted?
Part
no,
of
you want Loot Crew.
Do whatever.
Loot Crew
lets
is
you kill
doubled.
more.
Yeah,
Loot Crew is doubled by Exos.
Loot
So
Crew
you
is
do actually
part
want
of
Loot Crew
this.
in there.
Okay, Loot Crew is part of this 4,500%. So, yeah. All right, now, okay, hold on. Raise of hands, everybody. Who's a little bit less upset with Mr. Tiger right now? Just throwing it out there. How many of you guys just a little bit less upset right now with Mr. Tiger? I'm just curious.
Okay. Throw the next screenshot up in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, here's Griffin.
Wait, what?
From Hawaii.
Griffin
in the chat.
You're not coming in voice? Come on in voice.
He's in chat.
He's in chat. What's he saying?
He's in Hawaii, man. He's on his vacation.
Listen, you're not supposed to still be in Hawaii. You were supposed to come home yesterday. Yeah, did you extend your stay? Wait, you're still in Hawaii? You extended your stay. He extended his stay. He was supposed to come home this past weekend. No wonder I haven't heard from him.
Griffin, because you're listening now, I am exclaiming that you are correct. And you can edit this video later so you can pull this chunk out. But you investing in those early positive FKR researches, and if we then combine that with taking a look at these hostiles, there is a crazy amount of rep game that can be had. Just hitting the 61s that I was hitting with very little research done, I do not invest in FKR research. I walked away with a 250 million reputation gain for Fed.
What?
250 million per run. If I invested heavily and redid this run, it'd be well over $1 billion per run.
Rep grinding is a thing again. I mean, is it? Because no one's going to need to rep grind after they spend a little bit of time in Mirror Universe space. Rep grinding is actually, Nura, no longer a thing. As in, he provided us an out for rep grinding. As in, that is a grind, a screen time sucker that no longer needs to happen. Griffin says, I told you all that night, and nobody listened. Whatever. Now, I will say that it's not a thing for all players. I see Rhino says, well, I'm 15 billion locked in all 3 factions already. Okay. Then this particular piece of treasure hunt is not for you. But you know what? I hate grinding rep. Hate it. I hate grinding rep. But this is stupidly, amazingly, ridiculously good. Look at Simbo.
Do you remember when we...
I love Mirror. I hated it 5 minutes ago. This redeems the Mirror universe in my eye. Out of all the stuff that we've talked about tonight, the rep grind is the silver lining that may actually redeem the entire feature for a lot of you guys. Crazy.
And I will say that you have to be G5 because as we talked about G4, to fully engage the loop, you have to use every voucher very wisely. So this is not something that a G4 player is going to go into and say, I'm going to do this instead of the actual Mirror universe loop.
Yeah.
Potentially. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll say, this is far more important to me than the loop. I don't care about any of the Mirror dust research. I want to get my, big locks done. But for any G5, and if you're doing well in this loop and you've got extra vouchers and you're not using them, and you do have to rep grind, this is a fantastic way. By the way, for those players who can reach and kill level 70s, they actually have 1 million base. Yeah. So all of this map that I just said, triple it. If you can kill a level 70 hostile, you're going to walk away with 3 billion per run. Now that's probably, if you're at that point, you're probably already G6 and already have above 17 billion. So your dailies are going to dwarf that already. So it's probably still not a thing for G6 above, but this is still a very potent, especially with G5, way of grinding rep in a very short amount of time. And I remember when you went up and you were trying to grind rep for, 20 minutes. You set a timer for 20 minutes and you got distracted like 17 times.
Yeah.
But then we see you play the Mirror Universe loop. We see you grind the 15 minutes in Mirror Universe and you're stuck to it because you're like, I got to get it done in this timer. This is a perfect way of saying, hey, I'm going to spend,
15 minutes grinding rep.
20-minute. Yeah. And I'm going to get that done for the day. And I'm going to get that much closer to my next lock.
And you know what's hilarious right now? I agree, Jace. That is a very, very funny thing. And I want somebody to clip this so I can send it to him. Tiger is sitting back right now, laughing out loud, smoking a cigar, saying it took him 3 weeks to figure it out. Was this the content you guys wanted out of Mirror Universe? Was this the redeeming factor? Because here it is. There you go. Holy cow. Now, Dragon Keeper says rep grind in the MU is crazy fast, but not enough time to rep grind. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's designed to make rep grind tolerable again by segmenting it into 15-minute chunks. It's brilliant. Divine says, so G5 rare up? No. I mean, listen, these are still good payouts. Here's an Ops 51 hostile, 60,000. And again, I saw Ransusi saying, I'm a little bit confused. Break this down for me simply. This screenshot is simply, okay? Here are the researches that we're talking about. Rare positive FKR reputation and premium positive FKR reputation, okay? Sorry, I've got a problem with my mouse. There we go. So you'll see them in both of these categories. What does that mean, Jules? Why do I see those researches in both categories? Is it because did I lose Jules? Jules. All right. I'm going to take a guess. Maybe it's simply because they're doubled, right? The variety of bonuses doubled by the exos show up again here. Like this is all of these researches, and we see rare positive FKR and premium positive FKR, they are doubled by the use of the exos. They appear in the formula a second time, right?
Yes,
Jules?
Indeed. Yes. So when you activate an exo, this fourth bracket just magically appears where it
Jules,
takes
real
all
quick,
of these.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you.
Yes.
I need you to teach on this for like 60 seconds. I'll be right back.
So when you activate an exocomp, all of these researches are being accounted for by the exocomp. So it's not just the exocomp itself, the effect of the exocomp, like 100% or 170% or whatever, the amount of exocomps that you're using. It is actually taking that 100% of the bonuses that are the buff available of these researches. So that's Syndicate level 38 plus. That is these lists of researches, and that's including these new officers. Now, all of this stuff is relatively new to the game. So we think that at some point when they started incorporating these researches and these officers, they kind of added this new bracket for the exocomps and the way that it activated in the formula. So it is doubly effective if you're using exos. And the great thing about the mirror universe and only having 20 minutes in the mirror universe, you have to sit there and grind that 15, 20 minutes. So you're going to be able to use those exos and do it very effectively. Ranzusi is asking if at the regular rep exo, there is a G3, G4, and G5 version of the positive exocomp for each faction. That's through the Amalgam Refinery. There's also a negative rep exo that is available, which doesn't matter on these mirror universe hostiles because they don't have negative reputation at all. But that is also included in that that fourth bracket there. Now, we haven't tested Incursion's loot exocomp, so we do not know where that fits in. We are going to assume it works like all of the other exocomps. And then there's a couple of forbidden techs, including the Agamis and I believe the Borg Alcove are both loots. We just don't know where they fit into the formula. We don't know how that fits in, but we've tested every single other aspect in here. Big shout out to Tolsty, who actually kind of figured this out, all based off of me and Tolsty were watching DJs try to figure out the rep formula one day. When he brings out his spreadsheet, it's all white and it blinds you, and we were really confused with what he was trying to do. So
it was fine. It was a beautiful. It was mathematically.
It didn't work.
Yeah, it worked.
It got close.
Close.
Okay, while we're on the subject of rep grind, I do want to say one thing real quick. This is a Sloan skill, and we love Sloan. Sloan is probably one of the best fleet commanders. We praise him. Very early on, always on skill, intragalactic relations. Maxes out at 50%. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually mixed in with Syndicate. And that being mixed in that early makes its boost amazingly effective.
Oh, right
so
there it is,
just want to say another big point for Sloan. If you've got him, do that research. If you are grinding FKR, it is actually quite impactful.
So, in other words, and I hope that kind of breaks it down for you a little bit, Rand Susie, there are different stages of impactfulness when it comes to rep grind because the complication of the formula has grown. And the brackets, the parentheses has changed. And the way that these researches fall in, they are very, very, very strongly impacted. Okay? Calamus, that's that he says, so I guess Scopely doesn't want to make money selling faction rep anymore. Oh, they still will. They still will because people will see how they can do it. There'll be speed, some people won't understand this.
Right.
Yeah. Some people won't understand this, and they'll just pay their way to do it. And let's not pretend that there won't be other styles of faction rep event in the future where grinding this could give you an edge when it comes to the event. So, there's that. Yeah.
So in layman's terms, the stuff that says positive faction rep boost is essentially faction rep cascade.
That's a great way of putting it.
It is. Yeah, it's multiplied in by itself. Yeah, it's faction rep cascade. I like it.
I was thinking about it for a while. I was like, okay, I think it fits.
Yeah, that works.
I can say it out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So, I feel like we have touched on everything in my show notes today, and this is why I am infinitely more positive about this arc than it seems like a lot of my fellow content creators are and a lot of the community out there. But golly, I just...
Sounds like some of them are more positive, too. Looking at chat.
Well, God!
So that's good.
God! I just... I'm glad that some of you guys are coming around to it because this, again, is a feature that I think was very intricately designed, and it's going to take a long time for it to fully flesh out. I see Dog Red says, great arc for G5. I'm going to argue 46 plus. And listen, they didn't hide behind that. He literally said in the show that we had him on week 1, he said, listen, 40 through 45 is kind of an introductory period. 46 is where this loop is going to get crazy. He said that 40 through 45 is intro to the Mirror Universe, and 46 plus is where you're going to reap some serious, serious rewards. Okay?
And I'd like to add that we also gripe about new grinds in this game.
Yeah.
So if they continue to push brand new stuff to ops ranges that have probably sunsetted more of their previous grinds,
yeah,
then they are trying to create this balance that also is a way of them pushing players forward in their progression. And I understand that. So I think that there is still plenty of stuff pre-Ops 45 that people have to do. If you're an early Ops 40, you just entered 4 new specialty ship grinds. Like right away. You've got Monavine, you've got Eviscerator. Like you're just starting out on a bunch of big grinds and a bunch of big loops.
You know, we talked about that. Even Beck
Yeah.
came out and said, listen, I would love to hear your guys' take on what to focus on, what to start on at G4. Isn't it nice that this particular feature may actually not be something you have to start on at Ops 40? Like, that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know? And I kind of come back, Fullman asked the question, what percentage of the STFC population is Ops 46 plus? It's probably not quite as small as you think. But on the other hand, they built the content to last. They're trying, as Jules said, to push people forward. So if the content for the last year has been targeted at 40 plus, and we know that it has been, a lot of people have complained about it, a lot of the content has been targeted at 40 plus over the last year, maybe even year and a half. Is it any surprise that they're going to start to push that envelope now a little bit and say, okay, we're going to move the goalpost here a little bit, and we're going to start to push? Okay? Dog Red says there is a higher percentage of people 46 plus than had a Max Vidar, and I would agree with you. 39 is the largest ops level in the game. I agree with that too, Stratolorian, but why? Like that, I don't get that. I really don't. That is not a good place to camp. Not anymore. It was 4 years ago. 3 years ago. It was a good place to camp 3 years ago. It ain't anymore. But daggone it, we're humans. We don't like to change the way we think. We don't like new stuff, and we don't like learning things, and we just want to do it the same way, the same boring old way for the rest of time.
Yeah, John Connor.
I wish I knew him better. I would love to tease him a little bit more, but since you said it and not me, it's fine. I don't even think he watches our content. But I've seen him in other chats. I've seen him in Revs and Samos. I've seen him in Lubes. It's very, very funny. He's like the game's most vocal level 39 and swears he's never changing.
Yeah,
like,
forever 39. Exactly.
I'm staying 39. He's done with the game. He's done with it. Says, listen, that's it. I'm staying 39 for freaking ever.
Hey, all power to him.
He's doing it more on principle now at this point. All right.
You know, he doesn't have to worry about mining Trellium. Like, that's the thing. Like,
That's right.
He's having a great...
Hey, listen, he never has to learn new content ever again. All right?
Yeah.
Who's
Beck's
the
got it
real
right.
Who's the real winner here?
He's a great Photoshopper.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the real winner here? He never has to learn a new mechanic ever. Okay? He's fine. He's fine. All right, guys. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so very much. Jules, great insight tonight. Great teaching. And I hope, I know that a lot of people on the surface are going to disagree with me. I know that a lot of people don't understand what I like about the Mirror Universe. I hope that my content throughout the month has provided you a glimpse into what I do see in this mathematical marvel that is the Mirror Universe. And yes, that's high praise. All right, it is high praise, but we have seen far, far worse. This is good game design. Is it perfect? No. I'm not going to let anyone take that out of context on me. It is not perfect, but golly, it's better than a lot of content that we've had in the game over the last 5 years. You know?
It's a really good launch. Like
It really is.
Starting place for this whole mirror universe.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. I kill you agreeing. It's a great arc. All right? Caledon says, well done, DJs. I told you privately, but publicly, yeah, you guys have been improving my game a ton with your last few shows. Kudos. I hope that you're enjoying it. Of course, Joker's going to come in and adopt the Dragon Keeper apron and say it's trash. Thank you for that.
Okay, you got to pull up this original creation from John Connor I put in the circle.
Oh, God. What? What is this?
You didn't see this?
I have not seen this. So that's Hammy.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this in the graphics room for you guys in the podcast. This is, you can't miss this.
You've never looked better.
Yeah. I said that. That's good.
I mean, I'm
You've
looking.
never looked better, DJs.
I'm looking fantastic. I mean, that's a great look for me. I'm in. Okay, like that's. I wish I
this
looked
is a
that
John
good.
Connor original right here.
I wish I looked that good. You know what's funny to me? What's funniest to me about this whole thing is Rev's balding cap. Like
Yeah.
he's got a bald cap there, and it's folded up. It doesn't even look right. That's hilarious to me.
Because he always wear hats. Apparently, it was really difficult to get around the hat.
Oh, it was a hat. I got it. Got it. Is that what my sister looks like? I don't know. She might be broadcasting with me from the beach coming up in the month of July. I do want to remind everybody that the second or the third week of July, I will be gone. However, we are planning on making a bunch of content. And we do plan on recording a bunch of stuff. And I am probably trying to plan, at least at some point, a short live stream. Okay? Whether that's going to be from the parasailing or whether we'll do it from the condo or whatever, we'll check in with you guys. We're going to hang out a little bit while we're at the beach. But that will be happening from... God, I can't even see my calendar right now. Where's my calendar? I can't even see. Anyway, that's happening. So I think it's the third week of July. I'm going to be gone. Am I going to shield while I'm gone? Never. All right. Guys, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I'm not going to play outro music on the podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and cut and say thank you. Please do visit our website at talkingtrekstfc.com. Find links over to the YouTube and the Twitch and the merch. We got great new merch up. Guys, go get yourselves some of the brand new T-shirts that Candy White has thrown up in there. They're great. They're fantastic. We got some nice new hats in there. TalkingTrekSTFC.com. Go get you some merch. It's beautiful and it's amazing. And I want to thank Candy White for making that for us. Also, join the Patreon Club where you can support the show financially. As a matter of fact, Jules, I am getting ready at great public product. I don't even know why. People are like, yo, DJs, want to give you more money. Thank you. We are going to be introducing 2 new levels to our Patreon program here before too long. And I'm working on the perks that are going to come with that. So that is coming up here very, very soon. We're going to introduce some new levels to the Patreon program so that you guys can contribute at a stronger level if that is something that you so choose and want to do the extra levels and the extra incentives and some of the perks and stuff. We're going to be working on that. Okay, so thank you guys so very much. I do appreciate that. I would invite you to consider supporting Talking Trek Live, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution on podcast platforms everywhere. That's how long it's been since I've done a show, Jules. That's how long it's been since I've done a show. Recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I am your friendly neighborhood cat person, Ultimate DJ Sam Meow for now. Love you, mean it. We will catch you on the next one. You have a great night, everybody. And that is going to be the end of the podcast. Boom, done taping. All right. Simo says, take care, DJ. I wasn't actually ready to go just yet, Jules. Although I probably should.
No, let's do something reckless, dangerous.
Twitch leaks.
Wait, what do you want to do? Reckless and dangerous. Oh my God.
Spend all of, I don't know, something. I was going to say ultra recruits, but that's like no longer.
It's
as
not even a
potent as
thing
it once
anymore.
was.
Yeah, it's not even
exciting.
Not even a thing anymore, ultra recruits. Spend premium dust? No, don't make me spend the premium dust. I don't want to do that yet.
All your temporal tokens.
No, I could. Beck says.
And now the new show segment, Make DJs Cry.
Beck says no leaks. Bad Wolf says, let's see DJ's grind rep with the Exos. Crazy enough, I don't think I can. I think I spent my last little bit of currency on you guys. So actually, no, that's not true. I think I can get in there, can't I? I could get in there. You guys want to do one? You want to do one run of loot grind? Let me show you. Here's where I'm at, Jules. And for the record, I don't want to be out here that long because it's already 11:30, so I probably want to go to bed. Listen, I am 2.5 billion away from my 15 billion lock. 2.5 billion.
Dang.
Are you telling me that one run in Incursion or one run in Mirror Universe space could get me $1 billion?
Well, not now because I assume your FKR rep gain research is pretty low for your level. And I doubt that you've done, well, I know you haven't done the rare, and you've only done one level of the premium. So I would probably venture to guess that you're probably going to get somewhere around 100 million per run, depending on how many you can kill.
Oh, it's so not worth it. I'm not doing it. So not worth it.
Yeah.
Only
you're just
100
not,
million?
You're not invested enough into that particular mechanic for it to pay out as much. Why is it worse when you do it? I don't get it.
I love it. It's so funny. It's good stuff. What is this? Are you kidding me right now? Who all is in this? Yeah, I am. They made me Wesley Crusher. What is this? Okay, guys, I just got.
You look good in that one.
I just got sent a new family photo. Okay, there you go. How about that? How about them apples? John Connor sent this one as well. Well, how about that?
Can you name everybody in there?
Yeah. Okay, so we got me. There's Alex, Beck, Hanny, Rev, Guinan. They didn't change her. Here's no one.
She's too good.
Here's no one. And Spectre. Spectre up here. Is that no one, Shell? That's not no one, is it? I think it is no one. Nah. Who is this down here? Bottom left. Who's Jordy? That's Spectre. I'm assuming that's Samo. But a little bit at a loss.
Juby.
Is that Juby? Juby is Jordy?
That's Juby.
Juby is Jordy.
Yep.
Okay, got that. And then Guinan. Guinan didn't change. No, nobody changed for Guinan. As a matter of fact, wasn't there another one? I think I saw another one with a Voyager crew. I saw another one with a Voyager crew. Who's got the Voyager one?
Hold on. I'll get you that one.
Yeah, I've seen the Voyager one. In which Balana Torres was the only one who didn't get changed. All right, yeah, Balana was the only one that didn't get changed. Everybody else got changed, but not Balana. Blue says, just logged in. Can you start over? Nope, but you can have the playback. Listen, Blue, all it was what everybody thought it was. Everybody predicted, oh, DJz is going to love and snuggle on the Ark, and he's going to shill and tell everyone why it's good, and in actuality, he's an idiot, and the Ark sucks, and Mirror Universe sucks, and he's stupid, and he's a shill, and hot, and a lot of that. All right, that's what happened. Blue Mandalorian says the Ark was good, though. See? Look at Blue. Blue and Jules both saying that the Ark was good. Griffin saying that the Ark was good. I mean, guys, these are some pretty intelligent, well-versed people in Star Trek Fleet Command. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, where's the Voyager one? Where's the Voyager one real quick? I'll throw that one up.
Circle, it's also in chat.
Oh, great. Okay. So, yeah, here's the Voyager one. Where did that go? Why didn't it open up? Here it is. Here's the Voyager one. So here we go. I'm going to guess Harry Kim is Juby. There's Spectre as the Doctor. Rev is Chakotay. Hammy is Paris. Alex is Tuvok. B'Elanna is B'Elanna. Me as Neelix. Samo is Janeway. And Beck is 7 of 9. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Why do only us TT contributors like things? It's a role. It's a role. It's a brainwash thing. It's obviously the Kool-Aid.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's the Kool-Aid. I share the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Divine says, well-versed spenders you are. Maybe.
You know, this actually suits you. You are the morale officer.
Nope. I'm burning shit. Sorry. That's what I'm doing. Oh, my God. The kitchen's on fire. Spit on that thing.
Spreading the morale against the crew of the Star Trek Fleet Gang community and burning through his wallet.
Yeah.
Welcome to Talking Trek.
All right. Is there somebody online that you guys want to raid? Let me see who's on. I got to figure out this new. I haven't streamed in a little bit, so Twitch is looking all weird and funny to me right now. Let's see. Bafty is on. Bafty is on. Oh, Scribbler's on? No, why isn't it not showing me everything? I know that I am subbed to that channel. Scribbler. What? It's SB _ Scribbler, right? You know what it is? SB. No. God bless. I can't. There is something wrong. It keeps not keeping all my follow channels. Is there such a thing as following too many channels?
Scribbler _ SB.
Oh, _ SB. It says no channels found. It says.
He's on now.
Oh, Scribbler's not online. Scribbler's off. No, okay. Listen, we could go over and see Bafty. We've got a puzzle stream coming. As a matter of fact, I've only informed her that was coming, but we do have to make some decisions on that here coming up very soon. Probably not going to get to it before I go to the beach, but we do have to figure out what kind of a puzzle we're going to do. I was kind of thinking about changing it up on her and making her do like a 3D puzzle or something. You guys, what should we? Yeah. I know. I want to do something different. Because here's the thing. I am 99% sure. Wait, she's playing Monopoly Go? That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, we're going to have to go check that out. But I am also going to say that, listen, when it comes to Bafty versus me in a puzzle race, I am 99% sure you guys will make sure I lose. So we're going to have to change the rules a little bit. We're going to have to change the way that the timers work, Jules, because my chat does not want me to win that race. They're going to want me to lose that race.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
So I'm going to have to change the rules a little bit because last time the Bafty did a puzzle race, it was centered around support for the channel gave you the advantage. Well, y'all aren't going to give me no advantages. Y'all going to want me to suck. All right, so we're going to have to switch it around, all right? Contributions to my channel will damage my ability to compete in the puzzle race. So, yeah, I don't – first of all, this was an ill-conceived thought. I think there is 0% chance that I win. Like, it's not going to happen. But it's going to be fun. We're going to do something silly with it anyhow, all right? We're going to try to figure it out. Anywho, shall we oh, Scribbler is back on. All right, let's try. Scribbler _ SB. Nope, no channels found. Is she struggling? Rand Susie, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you being here. If I click on the follow button, yeah, it's not showing her, man. Yeah, see, look, Theo, how do I bet against DJs on that? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, no one's gonna. All right, let's go say hi to Bafty. All right, you guys can start tormenting her with the upcoming puzzle race. All right, and you guys could tease her a little bit about Monopoly Go. We've been there, done that. All right? Been there, done that. So let's go have some fun with some Monopoly Go. I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you tonight to our guests, Jules, Matters. Thank you, Putz, Karkin, all the goodies. Thank you very much tonight for everybody who was hanging out. Appreciate all of that, and thank you guys so very, very much. I'll catch you this coming Thursday. We've got incursions on Friday, so I don't know. I might postpone Thursday's show and do a Friday. I haven't decided yet, Jules. We might do a stream since I haven't done an actual true just sit down and chill Twitch stream. Might do that on Friday for incursions. Stradalorian says, please don't shield, DJs. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about a thing. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for me. Never shield. Good night, everybody. Love you, made it. We'll see you on the next one. Go say hi to Bafty, taunt her, and tell her how Monopoly Go is evil and the devil.